Testing. Okay. Can anybody, is my mic okay? Anybody, can anybody hear me? Mic okay? Testing. Can anybody hear me? Can you give me one? Anybody who can hear me? Can you hear my, hey brother, can you hear me? Oh, okay. You can hear me? I couldn't hear the music that I usually play before I do the videos. I couldn't hear the music, so that had me worried. Fix this microphone. Good to see you, Dave. I knew when you came into the video the other day. I knew it was going to be a problem. I knew it was going to be a problem when you came in the other day. Those brethren are straight up racist. They can't see the truth if you hit them in the nose with it. So let me get myself set up further here. Good to see you though, bro. That's a shame. That they have so much hate in them that it don't matter whether somebody's telling them the truth. The only thing that matters to them is a person's color. Just trying to get myself together here before I start. But it's good to see you though, bro. Okay, that's that. Let me see if I can blow my shofar, start my video. All right. I don't know if you brother can hear that. That was the shofar. And oh, hey, look. Mahalia. All right. Bronze Yogi. Good to see you, brethren. Thanks for joining me, man. All right. Good to see you, brother. Want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. I'm trying to do something here. I'm not finished setting up. So let me get myself. Finished setting up. Okay. Thank you, brother, for joining me. My name is Jaquab Banyisrael. Welcome to my channel where I just try. I just try to be a light while I'm in this reality. I try to redeem the time. I try to minister to my brethren whom are called faithists according to the OAHSPE Bible. This is not a channel for everybody. It's bound to offend brethren who are historically used to the Bible. But for brethren who are seeking and who can keep an open mind, this channel, you're welcome to be here. I had an incident yesterday. I want to share a little bit about it. And I like my room to be interactive, whereas I bought StreamYard so that I want to have dialogue with brethren. I want them to be able to come on my channel. And if you want to talk about anything, I'll stop the video. Matter of fact, let me drop the link. I'll stop the video and me and you can have a conversation, because I'm just trying to have this channel where brethren can get together and you can, Mahalia's the sister. I'm sorry. And look here, Asenath, what happened to you? Where you been? But anyway, I try to have this this channel so brethren can, I don't know everything. I'm just a brother. I'm just trying to seek the Creator. I believe I've been around the block. I believe I've seen life. I believe I've had my opportunity to take a shot at the big time, and don't appeal to me. Big money don't appeal to me. The world, I'm embarrassed to say, it don't have nothing for me. You said I've been on a project for work, but it's done. Oh, okay. So you put your project ahead of your brethren? I'm just joking with you. It's damn sure good to see you. That's all I know. Mahalia, welcome. Hope that you join us. Bronze Yogi, did y'all see his rap song? That brother can put it down, man. Brother can sing. He can move. Had me shaking my head. I liked it, man. Anyway, thank you, brother, for joining me. Again, I want to reiterate that my room is, I'm really just a brother. I don't claim to know everything. I believe that I have a life. I'm supposed to share it. I'm trying to chase the Father. And I believe that I'm learning. I every day I'm learning something, growing, and I like to share it with anybody who's interested. And so at any time, you can hit the mic and I'll click the link. I'll bring you into the room. If you want to talk about anything, I mean, hopefully it's spiritual, the OAHSPE, something you learn. You're welcome, something that will edify other brethren, because, I want to share something real quick. First of all, let me do the angels, because I'm going to get going here. I got a lot to say. So let me do the angels real quick, so I can get into my dialogue. And I believe that I got a lot that I want to share. But again, I want to emphasize that any of you brethren want to come on, even if you want to give a word, I encourage you. That's what I brought this software for, so that you can come on, you can make this channel your own, give a word, let brethren know how it's going, testify of something. I'm trying to build this thing up where, you brethren, you could take over this channel. And as long as you honor the Creator, and you want to try to help brethren to make this trip of faith. See, Brother David Long, I kicked him off by accident. Somebody was coming against him, and I meant to click on the person who was coming against him. Ended up kicking out Dave. So we got that together. So praise God for that. Anyway, the angels, the Essene Gospel of Peace, and this is just an opportunity just to say thanks to what the angels do for us. That's all it is. It's you don't have to, acknowledge them or anything. It's up to you. I just, when I read the OAHSPE, it keep putting me in the, it keep reinforcing, it keeps on confirming what the will of the Creator is, and that's for each of us to learn how to be thankful for, what our reality is, the help that we get, that the spiritual and the physical. And so the angels, we know that they're real, that they ministered us. This is just a chance to give thanks. That's all. And I used Friday, Saturday, Sabbath day to explain the first day, second day, third day. Personally, I believe Sunday evening, Monday evening is the Sabbath, but most people hold Friday. So I just digress to that when explaining the angels of the day, angels of the evening. For the sake of clarity, can't really, I don't want to confuse brethren trying to explain the new year and the new moon and then count 7 days, and that's where you get the weekly Sabbath from. I just try to go with whatever overstanding that will just get people to understand the basic point of what I'm trying to make, what I'm trying to say. So anyway, today, Thursday, is like what? The 6th day after the Friday, Saturday, Sabbath. So on this day, it would be like the 6th day, the 6th rising, and that would be the angel of water, angel of water. So we're going to say this 3 times together on 3. We're going to say this 3 times together on 3. When I do my reading, we're going to say this 3 times together on 3. Okay. And on the 6th rising after Sabbath, say these words. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. And then we read, and you will feel like the rushing current of the river. The power of the angel of water enter your blood, and like the rivulets of the streams, then the power of the earthly mother through your blood to all parts of your body, and it shall be for healing. For the power of the angel of water is very great. And when you speak to her, she will send her power wherever you command. For when the angels of God dwell within the Son of Man, are all things possible. And then we go to the evening, 6th evening after the Friday, Saturday, Sabbath. And we're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. After I do my part. 3 times together on 3, the highlighted part. Okay. And on the 6th evening after Sabbath, say these words. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Angel of wisdom, descend on me and fill with wisdom all my thoughts. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of wisdom, descend on me and fill with wisdom all my thoughts. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of wisdom, descend on me and fill with wisdom all my thoughts. And then we read, know, sons of light, that your thoughts are as powerful as the bolt of lightning that stabs through the storm and splits asunder the mighty tree. It was for this that you have waited 7 years to learn how to speak with the angels, for you know not the power of your thoughts. Use then wisdom in all you think and say and do, for I tell you truly, that which is done without wisdom is as a riderless horse, mouth foaming and eyes wild, running crazed into a yawning chasm. But when the angel of wisdom governs your deeds, then is the path to the unknown realms established, in order and harmony govern your lives. All right. Those are the angels of the daytime and of the evening. And at this time, I usually introduce anybody who is listening to a room I have on Facebook, where I like to try to read the OAHSPE and other spiritual books that harmonize with the OAHSPE. And then I like to just turn around and share it, put it in the room, Facebook, I just get a kick out of reading the OAHSPE. I just do. I don't know why that is, but I have this room for the purpose of sharing the things that I come across that I think is going to bless your soul. Here's a food ministry that I have where I can be contacted in case there is your brother, sister, and it doesn't have to be it could be any ethnicity. The OAHSPE has taught me to put down that racism, prejudicism, get rid of that. And I certainly agree with that. And so we're all brethren. We're all brothers and sisters. Some are not on the same mindset as others, but it's all good because eventually the Creator is going to see to it that we come together. We're going to come. Take that to the bank, man. We going to come together. And the might not seem like it now. The Creator, he got a plan for the kingdom of man. And so here's my information. I can be contacted and to meet to deal with a brother or sister. Trying to target orphans and elderly and disabled people. The OAHSPE, when you read it, do you know the Creator? He frowns on charity for able-bodied people. I still can't get over that, but he said it. If you're able-bodied, he wants you to be able to support yourself. I don't get it, to be honest with you, but I agree. You know, if he says it, who am I? Here's my room. You can click on the link. I think it's in the description box. You click on the description box and it will it'll bring you into the room and just give you an idea. Here's a Bible talk that I've decided to join on Wednesday, which is why I don't do videos on Wednesday or on Saturday, Sunday. So the new schedule for me, I used to do them every day, but now it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and no weekends. But here's the information for this room, Bible study room. So make sure you pause the video and get the information and come and join. You know, they basically have a reading. They have a schedule they send out to let you know what's going down, what they're going to cover. And brethren, I'm telling you, man, brethren, we need all the fellowshipping we can get, man. I'm telling you right now how important that is. The Creator, man, I mean, we got to get together, man. We have to get together with one another. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit when I get finished with the the metaphysical reading. I have a sister that shares a metaphysical word with me. And if she's giving me anything, then I'm going to do that. But if not, I'm going to go into the little monologue that I like to try to do. So you can stop the video and get this information that I'm scrolling and join us, man. Brethren, we got to get together. We have got to get together with one another, man, and see each other's faith. So let's see. That's that for my room. Let me see if my sister has got anything for me, a metaphysical word. See if she's giving me a metaphysical word. Yep, sure enough. Here it is right here. I can count on my sister. And she's doing one hell of a work, man. She's redeeming the time. She's storing up. She see the value in trying to do something. Bless your brother. She's got another word here. I'm going to share that also. Or no, she's, here we go. Shimon. All right. So the metaphysical word, it basically is the Creator giving you words, signs, and symbols, words to help you see things that you can't see in your reality. We can't see them. The only way we know they're there is by being able to read. And, you know, we got sense vibration. And I forgot to make my herbal drinks. How do you like that? I'm forgetting a lot lately. My memory, man, you know. But the metaphysical word is delicious to read and eat. It is delicious, man, because maybe you can't receive it. I don't know. It might not be for everybody. I just get a real kick out of it because spiritually helped me to see things that I don't know. I don't know they're there. You know, tell me about what mindset to cultivate and what to work on. I'm not sharing the screen. Dave, I beat you to it. You were supposed to beat me to it. I beat you, man. You losing a step, bro. You losing a step, Dave. Metaphysical meaning of Shimon. Shimon. Now, the metaphysical words that I like to try to share. These are words in the Bible. So you can see how the Creator, he can use a corrupted source like the Bible. Bible, very, very problematic. Very, very problematic. I'm going to talk a little bit about that after I do the metaphysical reading. And he can even use a corrupted work like the Bible, and he can still minister. He can still reach brethren. And he's hoping that you see the vibration, the truth of what he's saying as a way to glorify himself. Now, I'm not saying the Bible's useless. I ain't saying that. I'm saying it's got a lot of problems. And I believe it was inspired by false gods who have to give us some type of truth in order to grab us, in order to get us, in order to suck us in. You faith this. You know, if you read the Nag Hammadi, it tells you that very same thing. It says that the false gods, the powers that be, they realize that, and I'm just using my I'm paraphrasing. The false gods realize that fish like certain types of bait. And so they use it in order to grab you, attract you. And it works. So the agenda for false gods is to give you enough truth to where you can see it, feel it, suck you in, and then they hit you with they they draw you that way. You just go deeper and deeper into religion, and you just get to a point, man, you can't get out. And I'm going to talk about what me and Dave went through yesterday. So let me do the reading. Here's a word in the Bible, metaphysical meaning of this word, Shimon. Definition is astonishment, amazement, desert waste, solitary, ruin, desolation, extinction. And these things apply to us one way or another. And it says, a man named in the genealogy of Judah as being the father of 4 sons. So that's the historical definition of who Shimon was, this word Shimon. Now, metaphysically, it means the seemingly amazed, dazed, lonely, lost feeling that comes over a person when, because of his new conception of truth, he can no longer believe in the reality or security of outer seemings. When he has had to let go of old limited ideas and beliefs, but has not yet become established in truth, in the reality of things spiritual. By ever turning within to spirit, however, one gradually becomes centered and poised in that which is real and true, and brings forth qualities such as Shimon's 4 sons signify. 4 sons here bespeak a certain fullness or all-around realization and expression of truth. So he's granting that you know the story of Shimon, and that will help give you the context of why he concludes this is what the metaphysical meaning of it is. I can't do that because it take up the whole program to get in and try to flesh it out. And then another metaphysical word is Arba. Arba. Metaphysical definition of Arba is a giant, strength, a cube, 4. Arba is the name of the number 4, symbol of great strength, stability, characterized in the square and the cube. Historically, Arba was the father of Anak in the book of Joshua. It says, now the name of Hebron before time was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. Yeah, the Anakim. They were the Buffalo Bills of antiquity, giant, big, big men, I guess. Giant men. So that's where you get Arba, definition of Arba. That's where that comes in. It says, now the name of Hebron before time was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. Those were the giants. It says Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb because that he wholly followed Jehovah, the God of Israel. And reading this, I like this because now that you brethren are faithless, we know how to read the Bible now. We know how to read it. We can see where it's problematic, and we get that, we get saved that way. Because a lot of brethren, well, I'm speaking from experience when I've been in like Bible studies, and even with the Hebrew Israelites, they don't know what to make of. I mean, they take it at face value. They don't see anything spiritual behind it. And now the Creator, He's made it so that we can see how the deeper meaning of we read things like this. What I mean is that here Jehovah is used in the context of the Creator God, the God of Israel. The God of Israel are faithless. I think I'm going to read a little bit of that when I do the reading. I'm going to, there's something I want to say about that theme also about separation. Now, the metaphysical meaning of Arba, it says it's the reasoning of the sense, mind, and man. It's the reasoning of the sense, mind, in man, which attributes power and reality to the outer form world, instead of knowing that all power and reality exist in spirit. The unformed ideas of the one mind, sense reasoning, which is based on sense observations, is very firmly established in the spiritually unawakened individual, and it has its place in action in Hebron, the seat of conscious thought. This line of reasoning can be overcome only by that which Caleb, the faithful Israelite, signifies: spiritual faith. Truth is first perceived and accepted by faith. Then it becomes the basis of one's conscious thinking. See, and this is interesting too. I think about it. And I read in the OAHSPE where we were living in a time where brethren, they were going to comprehend the OAHSPE but not believe it. How do you like that? I may even come across that in the reading. Creator said we're living in a time where certain brethren, they will be able to comprehend it, but they won't believe it. It won't be according to belief. Because see, it's so simple. The simplicity of the OAHSPE is just undeniable. But even then, in other words, logic, it don't always translate into faith. That's another dimension. You got to have the DNA when you're talking about life changes according to what you know. Like say, I don't want to get in trouble, but like to make changes. And I fear that I'm getting ready to have computer problems because I'm looking at the signal and it's real weak. I hope you brethren can hear me okay. So let me just give you a heads up. I hope that it don't start messing up on me. People are getting home, internet gets clogged up, and then sometimes I get booted. If I do, I would just come right back on. But anyway, the metaphysical meaning of Arba, it basically summarize it is, unless when we get the truth and when we get to that part in our walk where we have to, I don't want to say have to, but let's say you can comprehend this word, but when you see the part that it tell you that everybody is your brother or sister, well, then that's kind of hard to receive and believe. You don't want to do that. You know what the word says, but whether you do it well, now that's another thing. And that's what I read in the OAHSPE Bible. Thanks, brother. Thanks, Dave. So, all right, enough of that. That's the metaphysical meaning of Arba and Shimon. Now, I want to share a little something that took place yesterday. I'm gonna share a little something, and I didn't want to say this, but it broke my heart, man. It broke my heart, man, and it just. But I got taught a lesson, man, and I want to share it. I got taught a lesson. If you, brethren, if you don't commit this word to the deepest part of your character, you're gonna be in trouble. I'm telling you right now. If we don't find a place in our soul where this word, it goes for me too. I'm just sharing what I think Spirit gave me to share, because this you against the world, brother, sister. It's for real. It is you against the world. Now, what happened yesterday is I was surfing YouTube. Let me see. ASNAS, she says. Let me see. Dave says, "You're learning, brother." Oh, you're taking a jab at me. Okay. He said, "You're learning, brother." I was waiting for the creator to inform you to change the tab. Yeah, right. All right. And then ASNAS, she says, "I wonder if Charles Taze Russell used the OAHSPE to start the Jehovah's Witnesses." Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. He says to start the Jehovah's Witnesses. His studies in the scriptures, serious, sounds like it came straight from OAHSPE. I'm not real familiar with. I'm not very. I never really paid that much. I mean, the thing that turned me off to him is the watchtower and the self promotion and the immediately it made me see man worship. You know what I mean? And it turned me off to look at them. To everybody, they make fun of them, but if I see coming out of the Hebrew Israelites, if I see the slightest hint of man worship, I'm turned off. I just shut down. The OAHSPE made it clear, and I see the destructive nature of men. Even when they seek to do right, man, they want that glory. They want it. The whole world, not just men, mankind, women and men and women. And the warning that that I get out of the OAHSPE is that the false gods, they got power to deceive you. Now, that kind of dovetails into what happened yesterday with basically me and Dave. I was surfing the YouTube. I was just checking it out, trying to see what I could, if Creator would give me something that I can listen to. And then I came across this channel. And incidentally, I used to be in camp with these brethren. They got some Israelites out here, and I found out about them last year. And I started to fellowship with them. And so they did a video yesterday. And the name of the video had something to do with the earth is billions of years old. It's a group of brethren named, they have a YouTube channel named Anointed House of Saints. Anointed House of Saints. And so I thought, you know what, that might be a good way to make an entry and to turn these brethren on to the OAHSPE. And I thought maybe, maybe, at the very least, I know somebody's going to be listening to what I say. at the very least, I know that some seeds are going to get dropped. So I went on and I I revealed myself. I was making some comments. He addressed it on the mic, and then he invited me into the room and he wanted me to explain the comments I was making in the chat. So basically, I started right off saying, "Hey man, look, I know what you guys are about, and you more than likely ain't going to hear what I have to say." I said the title of your video, it attracted me. And I wanted to tell you that it was right in line with what the OAHSPE Bible talks about. Well, they didn't know anything about it, right? And so I ended up getting sucked into a mini debate, and the brother wouldn't let me talk. He knew that I know all their talk. I know how to answer them. He couldn't let that get out because he's got a little kingdom of about 30 or 40 brethren that he ain't letting go of that kingdom whatsoever. So he couldn't let me embarrass him, and I wasn't trying. I believe me, and so he cut me off, wouldn't let me talk. This is a new thing. Who wrote it? And I knew right then and there that I made a mistake coming on here. And Dave had came into the room. He came in, Dave came in because they challenged me to explain it. And I said, well, I can do better. I'll probably be able to check with a brother, have him come in, and you can have the benefit of somebody who's very experienced. And so I put a call out for the 4 horsemen, and nobody responded. But Dave, he happened to be in the room, and he came on, right? And then I was excited, but then I forgot these people are racist. They don't care if Dave, if he had, all the wisdom that he would have gave him, it don't matter. He's a white man. He's white. That's all that matter. And I didn't realize that mistake until I actually saw it. I forgot he was white. He came in the room. I was like, yeah, bring him on. But then I forgot these people are racist, man. If they threw him a life raft and they were drowning, do you know they would throw it back to him? They would throw it back. No, I don't want a life ring from a white man. No, I don't want that. No, they would throw it back, man. And then a big fish would come up and, all right, and swallow them right there when they could have made it to safety. Now, I'm being facetious, you know what I mean? But that's the mindset of some Hebrew Israelites. Oh, I like that statement. Look at that. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. That is so loaded. That's how it is, Jaquab. We don't see color, but evil does. Man, that is the truth. That is the truth, man. That's what, see, even with the faithists, we have been thoroughly prepared to be deceived, man, because the powers that be, the spirit that's in the world, how we treat everything like a baseball game. All of us belong on different teams. All we know how to do is fight with one another. All we know how to do is take sides with one another. That's why the OAHSPE, I was sharing in my room. I posted something, and I think that what the creator, he's got something for that spirit. I think he's got something for that. I remember I was talking with my dad, and he said that the only thing that's going to solve the problem of men and the prejudice and, the separation, the inability to share the earth and to love one another. He said an asteroid was going to have to hit the earth. And I disagreed with him. I said, I think that um, what did I say? It was along the lines of interracialism or something, you know. But now I subscribe to what he said, that an asteroid, something is going to happen to this earth to bring us together, to break that spirit. And I believe the Creator, He got something for us. I think that he bringing you sheep into the fold, you know, bringing them into the fold. Like, okay, who's with me? Who's with me? Like it says in, what is it, the book of discipline? You know, all those who worship me, just I'm a gatherer, you know, where he said that people, they do different things. He said, let them do it, basically. You know, if you sing, go ahead and sing. If you dance, go ahead and dance. If you this or that, go ahead and do that. He said, but those that believe in me, I'm a gatherer. Plain and simple, I'm a gatherer. And so Dave, he came into the room immediately. They started laughing at him. They pointed, man, that's the white man. That's one of the first things they said when I first introduced him to the OAHSPE. The first thing they want to know is who wrote it. And then that kind of brought me back to a reality. Oh man, a white Edomite wrote that. And then I just said, man, you know, I made a mistake. Made a mistake. And so it led me to another thought that I had, that, brethren, you know, I'm telling you, man, you know, the OAHSPE, it teaches separation. And I can see why. It do teach separation. Don't teach hatred, but it do teach separation, because it's telling us that the agenda for us is to be gathered. We're going to be gathered somehow, some way, something's going, you know, and we're going to be our own people. I mean, if you read, and think it's the, it might even be, is it in the account that I'm going to read, where the IHENs, the Faithists, the original Faithists, that they were told not to mix with the drugs. I think it was the drugs. Or the, who was it? The IHENs and the ASUs, the original people. And they were told not to deal, IHENs were told not to deal with the, or it might have been, what was that name of people who were incapable of eternal life? I forget their name. Let me see. ASNS says, no, you didn't make a mistake. You and Brother David had to learn everyone, as you said, are taking fleshly side, not spiritual. Yeah. I mean, it was like a lesson. I mean, I knew it, that they were going to oppose. I mean, I could feel it, but you know, hoping against hope. But these brothers, they are real. I mean, they're just thick in hatred. They are totally set up to fall, totally set up to be thoroughly deceived. They will not. It's just like that scripture say, I think it's in 1 Timothy, that the days are going to come when men will not hear sound doctrine, will not hear it. They too bloodthirsty. I think that Dave was telling me that even the Moors, you know, I shouldn't say even the Moors, but they're like a separatist group, and they're basically, their agenda basically is the law and treaties and sovereignty, not under the jurisdiction of the United States, that type of thing. That's their thing. But even they say, they look at the Israelites and call them radical or something, stiff-necked, and they are. That, you know, man, we're we're in a situation. We are in a situation, and I believe that part where Jesus Christ said, "Save yourself from this untoward generation." That's why I was saying at the beginning, man, we got to get together. We have got to just, you know, I hope that more of you brethren make it to where you come on and share. You could talk about anything, but only just let people see us talking to one another. Because when I'm doing all the talking and I start, in some people's minds, taking over like I'm a teacher, which I'm not, that turns people, I don't feel I'm very good, and it turns people off. And people like to see other opinions, other people talking, and that's why I got those different links. So you could copy and paste those links in YouTube, and then you could decide what brother has the type of flavor that you like, brother or sister. In the description area, it's different links to different brethren. So you may, the important thing though is that we are going to be a community. That's the only way we can make it. Raising up children who are going to be raised up under the commandments, talking about not owning anything, seeking a way to serve your brother. I mean, the world don't want to hear that. I mean, that's why they in the situation they in. It's in the situation, and again, I'm going to say it again, but I think that the Creator, his agenda is, I think he got something for the world. Now I'm going to go into the reading of the first book of Lords, I think it is. The first book of Lords. And I really feel led to read that. And the you see, Dave says I'll explain more when I hit the link. Okay. Well, you can come in now if you want to. Or I don't know. This is a viewer-driven channel for Faithists. Let me see. Oh, sister, I learned a lot that year or so ago when I went to the Lions Den panel because they had put up Brother Malachi. So, okay, that was y'all talking. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the reading now. I'm gonna read from first book of Lord. I think it's first book of Lords. And if I say something and you have a thought, feel free to I just want the world to see that this is an interactive channel. Interactive for Faithists. It's for, look, man, if you ask me, I mean, Faithists are my brethren, not to the exclusion of anybody else, but we are a separate people, man. I went and took a cruise yesterday, and I went and got something to eat, and then I parked, and I was right across from this bar, and I think it was a funeral or a gathering, some type of gathering, and I remember saying to myself, "What's wrong with that?" They getting together, having a good time. It looked like I don't know what the exact occasion was, but they seem to be enjoying themselves. I don't think you enjoy yourself at a funeral, but they seem to be talking to one another, having a good time. And I thought to myself, man, what's wrong with that? There ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I ended up concluding the problem is that when you, what's a good word for when you sow to the flesh? You know what I mean? When you sow to the flesh, and plus I was thinking, that's a gathering where sometimes, you don't know what type of spirits can jump off on somebody. And I even remember reading in the Bible where it talks about don't run with a multitude to do evil. And I think that's talked about people more like to younger people when you look at these videos and they do smash and grabs. You walk into a store and just start going buck wild and taking stuff and then running out. But at this little gathering, it was a little older group of people. But all I could think was, that's a good breeding ground for spirits where you're drinking, you're in a big gathering.
something, it don't take much to set it off. You know, it don't take much to set it off. And I know a person like me is not going to be welcome to mix with them, start trying to introduce the OAHSPE Bible. That's not going to be welcome there. We don't mix, man. We are called to be separated from drooks and Uzians. Separate from them. And he's going to do the separating for us. You know what I'm saying? Brethren, we're a separate group of people. I'm sorry. We are supposed to be a separate group of brethren. So I'm going to the OAHSPE and I'm gonna touch on those. Type of things. So let me go ahead and get into the reading of the word. Oh, hey, Yapa. All right. Good to see you. All right. So let me see. Dave says, like the funeral scene in the movie The Bronx Tale. Yeah, you remember that? The Bronx Tale. I forget specifically the point that you're making. I mean, I saw the movie. It's a real good movie. But I'm trying to think of what the scene, what it was. I can't remember. Maybe you can tell us when you come on. So let me go ahead with the reading. And I felt an unction to read this because of that gathering at that bar. And I felt a urge to read this, even though we all know it, man. We read it a billion times, you know. I know I know that you brethren have torn up the OAHSPE. You know, we just plowed through that book because it was like water in the desert for brethren who had gotten, you know, just tired of the old way of things, religion, captivity. So let's go into the reading of this word. May the Heavenly Father bless the reading of His word. I think I better close the blinds here. Let me make it bigger so that won't be no problem seeing it. Let me close the blinds in my apartment here because it's a glare coming in. Hold on a second. Let me give you brethren a tip too, man. If you don't use fresh beans when you're making pinto beans, don't expect them to come out right, man. You know, fresh beans. Don't use beans that's been in the cabinet for a couple of years. You'll never make them right. All right. You could thank me later, okay, when you try it. Fresh beans. Fresh. All right. You thank me later when you see what I'm talking about. I made an excellent plate of beans, man. After a couple of failures, man, I made restaurant quality beans. And the whole secret was excellent. Well, yeah, man. Wow. How did I light it at two ends? Must have got lit from the other incidents. Yeah, so remember that tip, man. You know, thank me later, okay? Fresh pinto beans when you cook them. All right, so let's get into the reading of the word. Let me see. Dave says, end of the movie during Boston's funerals, captains and lieutenants were business as usual. The kid was solemn that Pesky came in. And, oh, wait a minute. I think I remember. I think that was the scene where somebody died or there was something that happened. I'll read it when I get finished with the reading. So let's begin. May the Heavenly Father bless the reading of His Word. First book of First Lords. I can't hold this incense. Somehow I lit it at both ends. I think it got lit from the other incense. All right, it says, verse 1, in the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, and the Lord made man upright. Man was naked, was not ashamed, neither did he know the sin of incest, but dwelt like the beasts of the field. Verse 2, and the Lord brought the angels of heaven to man by his side. They took on forms like man, having all the organs and attributes of mortals. For it was the time of the earth for such things to be. So it came to pass that a new race was born on the earth, and these were called Ihan, because they were begotten on both heaven and earth. Ihans were begotten on both heavens and earth. Now the footnote, it says they were impregnated, sired, generated, reproduced, born. They were begotten, the Ihans, in both heaven and earth. Consequently, it became a saying, the earth conceived of the Lord. And then the footnote says, and this is the origin of the concept on earth that Father Spirit impregnated Mother Earth and brought forth life or man. The footnotes. I'm not going to read all the footnotes, but try to touch on the ones that are pretty relevant. Well, I think they all are, but really help drive home the point. It says, verse 4, and the name of the first race was Asu. Okay, so you got the Ihans. They were mated with the Asu. The Ihans mating with the Asu, the natural man, the unenlightened man. And it says, because they were of the earth only. Asu was of the earth only. And the name of the second race was Ihans, because they were capable of being taught spiritual things. It says, the Lord said, of all that live on the face of the earth, or in its waters, or in the air above, that breathes the breath of life, I have delivered only man. Let me read that again. The Lord said, of all that live on the face of the earth, or in its waters, or in the air above, that breathes the breath of life, I have delivered only man to knowledge of his creator. And the Lord spoke to the Ihan through his angels. The Lord spoke to the Ihan through his angels, saying, go hide your nakedness, for it is the commandment of God. The Ihans were afraid, and they clothed themselves. They were no longer naked before the Lord. Then the Lord commanded the angels to give up their forms and no longer be seen as mortal. And it was done. And the Lord said to them, because you brought forth life, which is in flesh and blood, you shall minister to man for 6 generations on the earth, on the face of the earth. And it was so. And so that man may continue to walk upright, you shall teach him the law of incest. For man on his own cannot attain to know this. Nor shall you permit the Ihans to dwell with Asu, lest his seed go down in darkness. So there it is, the separation. Point about separation. Nor shall you permit the Faithists to dwell with the Uzians. I'm just paraphrasing, putting it in modern terms. Lest his seed go down in darkness. And man was thus inspired of the Lord. He walked upright and prospered on the earth. But after a season, man became conceited in his own judgment, and he disobeyed the commandments of God. And he strayed out of the garden of paradise and began to dwell with the Ashuans. Assuans. And there was born into the world a new race called the Druks. And they did not have the light of the Father in them, neither could they be inspired with shame, nor with heavenly things. But the Ihans were grateful to the Lord, and they gave sacrifice and burnt offerings, and they said to the Druks, go sacrifice to the Lord, and he will prosper you. But the Druks did not understand, and they fell upon the Lord's chosen and slew them right and left, taking their possessions. And the Lord said to the Druks, because you have slain your brother, you shall depart out of the place of God, and so that you may be known to the ends of the earth, I put my mark upon you. And check it out, man. And the mark of the Lord put upon the Druks was the shadow of blood, which being interpreted is war. War, man. You know, these people, we live in a world full of war. War, man. War, people, nations, war. Verse 17, and the Lord said, by this sign, the tribes of Druk and their descendants shall be known to the end of the world. See? So when you read history, man, you see white men and black men pushing war, going to war, no matter where on the earth. They're described as one tribe. They're a tribe of brethren. They are of a spiritual tribe. They belong to a tribe. Any men who subscribe to war. So we can know what we're up against. We can take warning. We can take heed, us faithists. We can see how we're outnumbered, man. Yeah, Druks sound like Israelites. They talk about cutting people, and they characterize themselves as warriors and men of war, and the Lord is the God of war and a man of war, and they love that type of, they love like blood characterization verses. They don't know what they saying or doing. Love, you know, why, you know what I mean? You get my point. You know, just that type, just, you know, that beast kingdom. It's the beast kingdom. You know, I read where it says in the OAHSPE, again, I was mentioning it earlier. There are men who they can comprehend spiritual words, they can get the meaning, but whether they have belief, that's another thing. And the Creator, he said in the Cosmic Era, he said that his word, his light, it was going to be able to be overstood. People were going to be able to understand it, but it wasn't going to be because of belief. Now, I think he's talking about certain brethren that, I mean, I see that as a danger where you comprehend what it's saying. In other words, faith and works, if they don't go together, then you just deceiving yourself. If you don't have faith and works, man, you can read this all day long and know exactly what it's saying. But he's saying to us, see, this word of Creator, man, he really knows how to sift what's real and what's not. He knows how to do it, man. He's saying if we don't examine ourselves, if we don't get it, man, that he's talking to us, he ain't always talking about other people. At some point, we don't know how to examine and discern whether or not we in the faith. The joke is on us. He said, and the Lord God said, by this sign, the sign of the drugs and their descendants shall be known to the end of the world. The first thing that comes to my mind is British colonialism, European colonialism, war, conquest, devastation. Verse 18, and women, being more helpless than man, cried out in fear, saying, O Lord, how shall I bring forth to you, and not to the sons of death? And the Lord said, because you have brought forth in pain, yet called on my name, behold, I will be as a shield and protector to you. For I will also put a mark upon the eye hands, my chosen, so you shall know them when they come to you. It's talking about circumcision. Isn't that something? But everybody is circumcised, aren't they? In this day and age, right? It was a faithless thing back then. Isn't that something? Verse 20, and the Lord commanded the male eye hands, old and young, to be circumcised. So that was a faithless thing. That's a faithless thing. Circumcision. So that woman would not be deceived by the drugs. How do you like that? And the eye hands circumcised their males, old and young, for it was the testimony of the Lord to the woman, that seed of their seed was born to everlasting life. How do you like that? That's deep, ain't it? He said he gives you circumcision so that, you know, no deception going on. Verse 21, and the drugs went away into the wilderness and dwelt with the Assyrians and with one another. God said, I will make a boundary between the tribes of Druks and the Ihans, and this is the line that I, the Lord God, make between them. The Ihans shall labor and clothe themselves, and I will remain with them, but the Druks shall wander in the wilderness, neither laboring nor clothing themselves. Second book of first book of Lords. The time of the habitation of Asu was 8,000 years, and they survived 2,000 years after the time of birth of the Ihans, which is to say, Asu dwelt on the earth 6,000 years, and then conceived of the chosen of God. And after that, survived 2,000 years more. And then Asu disappeared off the face of the earth. But the sacred people, the Ihans, and the carnivorous people, the Druks, the carnivorous people, man, that's a hard one to get off meat. You know what I mean, brethren? But let me encourage you, man, plant food, I bet if I handed you a flesh burger, the Burger King Impossible Whopper, I bet if I gave that to you, and then I gave you the Whopper, more likely, you know what? You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. The Impossible Whopper, that's plant food. At least they say it is. That type of stuff make you leery too. Just because they say it, sometimes you wonder. But you eat that thing and you could tell only a very slight difference. They even got things like chicken, and I think they make it from soy or some product where you can't really eat nothing in the world. You can't run, man. You can't get away from it. Soy, doesn't that affect your testosterone or something? Make a man a woman. Where can you go, man? You see? But the sacred people, the Ihans, and the carnivorous people, the Druks, remained on the earth. It said the Ihans were white. Oh, see? White people. That's the first thing an Israelite will look for. Yeah, Asnat says, I believe that too. We never know what we're eating. Yep. Because some of that stuff, it don't, man. And I just happened to see a video about automation, agricultural automation. And they got, oh man, it's just depressing. I don't mean to sound negative. But when I looked at that, man, and when you start concluding things, man, about how here we on the earth, there's people who are really diabolical, man, and they make a deal with the powers that be, the fallen gods, lords and angels, and then they give them wisdom, and we're sunk then, man. Then we're sunk. I mean, of course, I believe in the Creator that somehow, man, He will help us to make it. But still, I mean, I don't have to tell you, brethren, about the reports you're hearing. Yeah, Soylent Green. Yeah. Yeah. Eating people. That's the situation, man. We're I hate to sound negative, man, but we're sunk. We need help, brethren. That's why I was thinking the other day, and I shared in the room. I think the Creator, He's going to have somehow, I think that we're going to be gathered because it's too easy for the elite, to put things in the food supply, turn men into women, women into men. I even heard a crazy report. Not that you can believe everything. Bill Gates training a school of mosquitoes to go around biting and infecting everybody. Now I'm paraphrasing. Where do these people come from, man? Why do they want the whole earth to themselves? These are educated people, man. They're able to do it. AI how, Heavenly Father, please deliver us from these things because we ain't going to be able to recognize reality. We can't go on like this. We need help. We cannot go on like this. With the science, it's diabolical. You brother know what I'm talking about. The needle, the seed, these, you know what I mean? The shot, the vaccination. You know what I'm saying? The powers that be, man, they are able to wreak havoc on a global scale. And they want the earth. They don't want 90% of it. They want it all. And they want people serving their interests. That's why somebody was saying something the other day, and I agreed with it, and I think I can see it. You don't go to school to learn how to learn. You go now to be indoctrinated, to learn how to serve the state. Learn law, learn to put the society over your own needs, sacrifice for the sake of the state. Is that what Majority Report was all about, or what is the name of that movie? I don't know. Who was it? Will Smith, I think. I don't know. I don't really watch movies, but You get my drift. I do think that movies, they spill the beans. It says, verse 5, now because the Drooks had not previously obeyed the Lord, but went and dwelt with the Assuans. So now because the Drooks had not previously obeyed the Lord, but went and dwelt with the Assuans, the half-Ihwans and the Ihens, there was a half-breed race born on earth called the Yaks. Now you got the Yaks now. So you got 2/3. You got the Drooks. They were mating with the Ashuans. You got the Ashuans. The Drooks and the Ashuans get together and they produce a people called the Yaks, signifying ground people. And they burrowed in the ground like beasts of the forest, and the Yaks did not walk wholly upright, but also went on all fours. So let's read the footnote real quick. Couple footnotes. It says, the physical traits mentioned in this verse and later verses must be in the aggregate. That is, they are generalizations, being the statistical modes for a certain span of time, used for reporting purposes. They are simplified, meaning generalized, extract of complex, continuous data for logic, reason, experience. Okay, I'm getting lost. So let me see. Here it says population studies and population descriptions, statistical representations, will show that these supposed discrete units, white or yellow, are actually the modes of continuum. For example, the offspring between the white Ihuen and yellow Ihen would neither be white nor yellow, but lie between the two in color. And these offspring marrying with each other in betweens and with the white and yellow color for many generations will ultimate in a continuous line, continual representation of color from white to yellow. And experience in population studies reveal, okay, I can't get it. This is like, it's too garbled. I can't get it. Maybe you can. Maybe you can take a screenshot or stop the video and read it. I can't get with this, Ihens and Drooks, with OAHSPE giving their comparative general, given later skin color is neither sufficient nor necessary. Anyway, you can read that. It's bogging me down. All right, so let me see. It says the Yaks did not walk wholly upright, but went on. It says, now, because the Drooks had not previously obeyed the Lord, but went and dwelt with the Ashuans, there was a half-breed race born on the earth called the Yaks, signifying ground people, and they burrowed in the ground like beasts of the forest. And the Yaks did not walk wholly upright, but also went on all fours. Verse 6, God said, because the Yaks cannot be taught the crime of incest, behold, they shall not dwell on the earth forever. So shall it also be with the Drooks, except where they cohabit with the Ihens, whose seed is born to everlasting life. But with the Drooks and their hears that spring from the Yaks, there shall be an end, both in this world and the next. Wow. So the seed of unenlightenment, lacking spiritual ability to live the eternal life, cannot, their lineage is wiped out. Verse 7, and the arms of the Yaks were long, and their backs were stooped and curved. And the Lord said, because they are the fruit of incest, and not capable of speech and eternal life, the Ihens shall make servants of them. So here we have the images. You have the Ihens in the front, and then the Ihwan, the Ashuans, who made it with the Ihens. And then you have the Drooks in third from the left. Drooks. it says, and so that they may not tempt my chosen to bring forth fruit to destruction, they shall be neutralized in my sight. So the angels of God taught the eye hens to make eunuchs of the yaks. And after making eunuchs of both the male and the female yaks, the eye hens took them for servants. And the Lord said, the yaks shall serve the eye hens, and build and sow and reap for them. And it was so. The eye hens were disposed to live alone, but the Lord called them together, saying, come and dwell together in cities. For it is fitting that you live in the manner of my kingdoms in heaven. So there's like another separation right there. Called to live amongst one another in cities. And he says, that's after the manner of his kingdoms in heaven. Verse 11, build therefore to the Lord your God, and my angels shall dwell with you, teaching you to sing and dance for the glory of your Creator. And man built to the Lord and established worship on earth in the manner of heaven. Now it happened that the Druids came to witness the rites and ceremonies of the chosen, but they took no part in them, nor did they comprehend their meaning. Verse 14, and God said to the eye hens, so that you could teach some of them about the Lord your God, build within the house of worship an image of me. So now this is interesting because he's allowing idolatry now. And the Creator, he said he allowed it for a while in order to reach man in a way that he could understand. Now, in our day and age, like the scripture, the Bible says, in the times of our ignorance, Creator, he winked at, but now he commands men everywhere to repent. I think that's in Acts 17. He doesn't allow that no more. He says, so that you could teach some of them the drugs, so that you could teach some of them about the Lord your God. Build within the house of worship an image of me. Build it in the likeness of man, and I will manifest to those who are capable of everlasting life. And the eye hens, men and women, with their servants, built images of stone and clay and wood to the Lord, and stood them by the altars of sacrifice. And during the time of worship, the angels of the Lord came and possessed the idols and spoke from them with audible voices in the presence of mortals. Now, there's something here. I don't think this is what I think it is. Sounds like this may be talking about some deception that's coming up. Let's see. And then it says, and the Druids inquired of the eye hens as to the cause, and the eye hens said, behold, there is a God in heaven, subtler than the air of heaven. It was he who brought us forth out of darkness. He speaks in the idol so that you may know he abides with his people. So let's read the footnote. Let's see if we can get something out of it. That is, there is a God in the sky who is more imperceptible or subtle than the air of the sky, which is why it is harder for you to see him, harder for you to see him, hear him, and even be aware of him. You know the wind exists, yet you do not see it. So, in other words, it's going over how the Creator is subtle. He's there, but he's subtle. And during the time of worship, the angels of the Lord came and possessed the idols and spoke from them with audible voices in the presence of mortals. And the Druids inquired of the eye hens as to the cause. And the eye hens said, behold, there is a God in heaven, subtle than the air of heaven. It was he who brought us forth out of darkness. He speaks in the idol, so that you may know he abides with his people. So it sounds like here's the problem here, the beginning of idolatry. But let's see. It says the Druids said, what does he say? The eye hens answered that whoever is attained to remember God is on his way to everlasting life. And the Druids inquired, How can a man live forever? Behold, you who believe also die. Verse 20, the eye hens answered, saying, as the voice of the Lord is unseen but potent, so is there a spirit in man unseen and potent, which shall never die, but ascend in heaven to habitations prepared by the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Creator. He's talking to you faithists. I mean, from a blessing standpoint, you know, it was just in my mind to go back to that group of people that I saw, you know. In other words, people, I mean, you know, there are gatherings like that all the time. People getting together, having a good time, and you can't help but, at least for me, I always wonder whether or not I'm trying to find a way to say whether or not they are spiritually inclined to believe in the Creator. Are they sold to the earth, or are they able to spiritually, are they able to receive the spiritual light of the word that's in the world today? Because I always think about how we're outnumbered. Faithists are outnumbered, how real it is, how you can't. And then you read the OAHSPE, and it talks about how there's one account where the angels go back, they report to Jehovah. They say the weeds grow faster than your people. We're outnumbered. And it's the same way today, how we are outnumbered. How do we make it, man? Why, you know, it can only be by the Creator. Why do we keep faith is what I'd like to know. Why is that? How can that be? There's all kinds of darkness and evil influences around us. And so all you can conclude is that that's the Creator sustaining you, you know? So, brethren, I'm not just saying this because I'm on video, but supporting brethren, I'm telling you, man, you know, it's appreciated. It's important, because I don't think that we are, you know, well, I'll just speak for myself. I think that we are described as weak, faith spiritually speaking. I think that we are weak in our faith. And I say that because now maybe I'm just, you know, the lack of responding that we do. If we were in the spirit, we wouldn't do that. But we do it while we're on the earth. It's hard for us to exercise initiative, it seems. It seems like it's hard. And I say a lot of it basically, a lot of the reason why I say that is because of my room, where there are brethren and sisters in there. And the vast majority of them, they don't. And you know what? It's always been that way. It's hard to get brethren to respond. It's very hard. That gives me a picture of the OAHSPE brethren all over the world. I think that when the revelation of the OAHSPE Bible came out, there was probably a lot of excitement among brethren. They knew that it was from the Creator, and the anointing that was on the OAHSPE made them excited, and probably lit a fire in a lot of brethren and breathed a new breath of life in brethren. But as time goes on, and the further we get away from the revelation of the OAHSPE, knowing human nature, we get weaker too. We get less. If you read the OAHSPE and it talks about the election, it talks about the spiritual grade of brethren. There's a section in a book that I was reading where it talked about the decline of the spiritual grade of brethren, a steady decline, man. And I know that that's the time that we're in right now. That's why I was trying to share that the Creator, He's got to do something, because I think that we will just slowly decline if we can't really be lively in this day and age. I don't expect that it'll get better as we go on unless the Creator, He does something to wake brethren up and let you see that, yet the Creator says, hey, yeah, I am. I'm real. I'm real, and I'm watching you. And I'm telling you, you got this time to bear fruit. So don't get tired and faint, man. You know, this is a real thing that's going on. I got a kingdom waiting for you. You only got a short time. Why are you getting tired now? Why are you why is, you know, now call me kooky, but that's what I really believe. I believe we're a tired people. A tired people. Like it says in the Bible, the Satan shall wear out the saints. I think that was talking to us. And then you look at the Israelites, and they're full of strength, man, to do evil. They got a lot of strength, man. Calling for blood. That can wear you out. It's compared to us, there's a whole bunch of them. And they bring energy, man, to evil. Our message, man, that it's like the world can't get with it at all, you know. See, ASAP says, Yaquab, maybe those people in your room still have one foot in religion. Just stop. It's very possible, man. You know, it's very, I don't think, I mean, I'm just, all I know is I'm amazed at the lack of response. The lack of response in a room like where lack of response, you know, we wouldn't do that in the spirit. We ain't going to do that in the spirit. I think about it sometimes. I say, man, how would you like being married to a spouse? I like to use this example all the time. You know, man, when love dies, it's a terrible thing, man. When you know that feeling something's in the air, you know what I'm saying? You know that it's on the decline. She ain't happy. She just kind of drag along, and you know what's coming, a breakup. You know what I'm saying? A breakup. The love is dying. There ain't no more reassurances of, honey, I love you. You know, I appreciate you. I'm talking about spiritually. It's like, from what I've seen, man, it's like maybe we were excited at one time and then we got old quick, man. You know, we got old quick, man. I don't know. No life. You got no life in you. You know, you got no life. So that's why I'm saying, you lively brethren, man. I'm pulling for you. I'm just a brother trying to run like you. But we are up against the whole world, man, you know. And many brethren are going to wake up and see that it was all real. And I had an opportunity. And now here I am. I'm sitting here thinking that I was on my way to first year of college. They telling me I got to go back to first resurrection. I got to go back to first grade, or even worse, I had to go to kindergarten. While those that I knew in reality, they way up there, you know, reaping the glory and the honor that the Creator promised. You know, we're sunk, man, if the Creator don't do something. We need to have a fire lit, because I'm afraid of brethren making me die too. Because we don't like to talk to one another. We don't like to get, we're our own people, man, and we can't, you know, we can't even talk, we can't get with one another. Even in faithism, we're a fractured group of people. you got your people over here, your people over here, not minded to try to bring brethren together. Verse 21, and many of the drunks pondered on these things, and their thoughts quickened, their souls within them, so that they brought forth hearers to eternal salvation. So here the drunks are considering the things the Ahans are teaching them. They're starting to inquire, how can a man live forever? Behold, you who believe also die. The Ahans answered, saying, as the voice of the Lord is unseen but potent, so is there a spirit in man, unseen and potent, which one shall never die, but ascend in heaven to habitations prepared by the Lord. Many of the drunks pondered on these things, and their thoughts quickened, and their souls within them, so that they brought forth hearers to eternal salvation. And the Lord said to the Ahans, because you have done a good thing, go abroad by the roadsides and other places, build images unto me and mine. And my angels shall bestow gifts, signs, and miracles. And the Ahans supplied the roadways of the earth with idols of stone, wood, and clay. The angels of heaven descended to the idols and established kingdoms, heavenly kingdoms close by. And when man came there, he called on the name of the Lord. It was a password for the angels, and they wrought miracles and otherwise gave man the evidence of the unseen. So eventually that stopped. The miracles, the angel visitations. Now here we're in the cosmic era now, and from what I understand, that's going to pick back up. Angel visitations, miracles, for the sake of the building up of the kingdom. Because the way I see it, man, if the Creator don't do something, we're just going to die on the vine. If we don't learn that we get strength from each other, then I don't know. I hopefully I'm wrong, man, but I don't see how we can really, unless we get it. But from what I can see from my own little corner of the world, it looks like one hell of a task that's ahead of us to, support one another, to be lively, to make an impact. It's like the Creator, he's just got to do it the way I see it. So I don't mean to sound somber, bro, but I'm being honest. I've done a lot of ministry, and it's been the same way for all these years. That's my honest report. That's what the angels do. They report to the Creator. There was one account in the OAHSPE where they said, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to deal with those people. That's what angels said. They said, unless you send us back in armies, where we can more effectively, number one, be around our own kind. And number two, have some sort of power against the darkness that's going to surround us. But anyway, that concludes the, I don't mean to sound somber or anything, but I'm amazed at the lack of fervor, the lack of, liveliness. So I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but anyway, that'll conclude the reading of this word. Let me see. I think I'll, if you want to come in, click on the link. If you want to have a, share your thoughts on anything that I read or something you have read and you want to share, then feel free. The link, let me put the link in. I don't think you can click on the link in the room, but I'll put it in the room. So if anybody wants to comment or feel free, here's the link. So I'll wait a couple of minutes, and the schedule, remember, I'm not going to be doing a video on the weekends or on Wednesdays because of the like to fellowship with this Bible fellowship on Wednesday, and that's the new reality, really. I know now. One good thing is the OAHSPE, the creator. He said that this will pick up, and it is going to sweep the globe. He said that the OAHSPE is going to sweep the globe. So that's what encourages me. That's why I was saying earlier, I perceive he's going to bring an event. To me, it could be it could end up being like nuclear war. When we get a taste of that and the ability of man to destroy himself, I don't know, but there's going to be, I think the creator's going to bring an event, and it's going to, at least it's going to wake faithists up. And then make us to consider, to elevate in our spirit, where we start, really wanting to deal with ourselves, get together with ourselves. Dave, I didn't see you, brother. All right. I'm sorry, brother. It's good to see you though, man. How you doing?
Just fine. We did all right. We did what we were supposed to do over there at that. I'm not on.
Turn your mic on.
I thought my. How about now? Let me.
Your
let
mic.
me see what's going on here.
I don't hear anything.
Touch up again.
Oh. I gotta unplug my mic. Oh.
Now, I don't know. It says my mic's working fine. How about now? Can you hear me? Am I on? Let me see here. Let me see here. What am I doing? Oh man, mic's on there. Let's see. How about now? Wait. Well, I'm gonna pop out and pop back in. Says everything's working fine. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on. They're hearing me loud and clear. How about you, brother? Are you plugged in, or is your mic muted there, brother Yequab?
Yeah, because I'm getting old, man. I don't see.
Okay. Yeah, you got it now.
Yeah, my button was screaming at me saying, "Hey, Yikewab, hit me, man, turn me on."
Okay.
Oh man, getting old, brother. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got it. We got it figured finally. Uh, I was going to say there, Brother Yaquab, don't get down because we did exactly what Creator wanted us to do over there on that Hebrew Israelite channel.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Ultimately, it's just that that type of darkness is depressing. You know what I mean?
You know, what we do, brother, is when that darkness gets a little bit depressing and a little cloying, or we feel uncomfortable, we just turn that light right on up and brighten it right up. That darkness is going to flee from the light.
Well, the way I do it, even though I'm saying and sounding like this, I use it to motivate me to learn a lesson. Like that could be you. And I think as faith this week, man, we just got to realize that, you know, that I don't know how to say it, but I guess many people like them brethren will just have to learn when it's too late, man.
Okay. You know how we reacted when they booted us. We just left, right? We didn't squabble with them. We didn't try to get back on. We didn't call them a bunch of names. We didn't go into their chat and cuss them out. Now, did
No,
we?
they asked me to come back on. How do you like that? You know,
Now,
the moderator asked me to come back on. So I came back on, but then when I saw I wasn't getting nowhere, I just said, hey man, you know, see you later. I'm not
yep,
into arguing with people anymore.
yep.
Even if I was 1,000% correct, you ain't gonna hear me. So.
What they were attempting to do, brother, is to drag you back into their fold again.
No, they wasn't trying to do that because the reason what he was trying to do was save his little kingdom. That's why he wouldn't let me talk, because he knew that. See, I know all their talk. I know all their talk, you know.
Yeah.
And
but
after a while.
Now, if I remember correctly, right, he kept asking you something about like, oh, why do you believe in that white man's book, Esau? Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Now, see,
I was trying to tell him, hey man, look, it don't matter who throw you a life ring when you drown it. All right.
Yeah.
I want anybody, my worst enemy, just throw me the damn life ring. That's all I don't care about your color when I'm dying. And so they're under that's why I was saying it's depressing, because you would think he said we had one exchange where he was saying, so you believe a white man's book? And I said, or no, he was asking me something like, you know, well, we got the Bible. That's all we need. And I said, brother, I said, isn't there a verse in the Bible where it says that if all the things that the Creator said and did were written, the whole world wouldn't be able to hold them? So that means we got incomplete knowledge. The Bible doesn't have complete knowledge. And so when you say things like that, when you were in the Hebrew Israelites, it's just like with anything. When you were a part of something, then you come out, there's nothing they can do to you. There's nothing will work. You know what I mean? You know what their agenda is. You know how to throw it right back on them. But I'm not really interested in throwing it back on them. I want them to listen and learn, because it don't do no good for us to be boxing one another, and that ain't productive, man. You know.
Yeah, exactly. But but now let me continue a little bit. I was sitting there in the back chat. I didn't type anything. I was watching the interaction between you and the panel and that guy that said, "Oh, Esau, he don't believe in the Bible." And boom. That was cool. No problem. Now, I was just sitting there watching the interplay, and to me, it looked like he was trying to get you to renounce OAHSPE and come back in, because he don't know exactly how long you've been away from their little group. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He thought you was maybe the cult leader grabbed a hold of you, and he's going to grab you back in, and you're going to have that collection plate getting pulled up again by your money. It's all
Yeah.
about money.
Yeah. You get a man, and if he, you give a man a little kingdom, and he will fight. He will not let that little piece of power and glory. He will not let it go for nothing. A little
Well,
nothing.
even the big mega churches are like that. Do you remember the what was it, hurricane or flood they had in Texas? I'm not sure if we're in Texas, San Antonio or somewhere around there, and
Was it
that big
Houston?
mega church, the Joel Osteen.
Oh.
Yeah, and he wouldn't let none of the people in there because
I heard about that.
Yeah,
How do you like that, man?
Yeah, he didn't want his carpet to get ruined.
Yeah.
Then he's talking about this big old Learjet he can fly all over the world. Now, if he's got that big old Learjet there, brother, can't he afford to get a carpet cleaner to clean his church after the disaster's over? After he's helped the people that he's supposed to be serving through his God, Jesus?
That's why I think that, we're in such a condition, man. It's like, it's been so long. Asenath says, Katrina. Hey, Asenath, come in the room. Why don't you come in?
Yeah, come on
you don't
in
want to
there,
come on?
sister. Come on in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Hit the link.
Yeah. Hit the link. That's why, like what you were saying, Dave, you look at, the decline spiritually. It's amazing to me that it's even gotten this far. I know you heard about T.D. Jakes. You know who he is? He's famous.
Isn't he some kind of a preacher?
Yeah. And evidently, he was playing, hitting on both sides of the plate sexually.
Oh.
He's a switch hitter,
Oh.
And to the max. And he basically, his people, I think that he did end up losing a big part of his congregation, but he's still preaching and he's still got an audience. And so I think of that type of thing, and you got to be pretty dense to see that the type of morality that is going on in the name of God. And it's really no big deal.
Well, these Christians, these dogmatic religions, they're not genuine. They're not they're following the false gods, and the false gods are teaching them to do that because they are false, and they're all against one another. How many denominations of Christianity are there?
Yeah, that's a good point.
How many denominations of Islam?
Yeah. You know, now that rings a bell too, man. You know, the depth of that, huh?
Now here's another one. Now, how many denominations of faithists do we have?
Yeah, that's a good point. One. Right.
We're all together.
Yeah.
We who call ourselves faithists are like the angels in heaven. You remember the story that I told you when I was traveling in the astral, and a bunch of evil angels decided to put me in a holding sack where I couldn't get out. I called out. 10 angels came in. They called out. 10 more came in. And pretty quick, they couldn't hold that sack anymore. They had to let it go, or we'd have lightened up hell.
Wow. I mean,
this is what we do. This is why I answered your call. Creator told me to. I did. We did what we were supposed to do. When we got off, we left them, and I went immediately to your page, right, and wrote what I wrote on your page, you know, about let's dust our shoes off or something like that, and keep on walking. Right? Because I knew they used to be your brothers, and they treated you like an orphan now, or somebody who got incapacitated, and they're feeling sorry for you for getting into this terrible OAHSPE cult. You understand? I'm trying to cheer you up there, brother, because we did exactly what Creator wanted us to do, right?
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't know if I need to be cheered up, man. I mean,
now, wait a second there. Every once in a while, we need a little cheering up. We need a little pat on our back from our brothers and our sisters, and saying we did a good job. We did what we were supposed to do when we were supposed to do it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. In situations like that, I use it to I turn it to my advantage.
Exactly. Creator going to turn this to his advantage too, right? They're going to, all those people who was in the chat, I guess there was like about, 63, 64 of them?
I don't know. I didn't notice.
Well, that's, I was looking at how many people were watching the presentation. And when we left, without creating a hassle or a fuss, that's going to impress some of those people. I don't even care if it impresses 5 out of the 65. That's 5 impressed. You see, they're going to come and look. Where is Yaquab now? Right?
That's my whole agenda.
Right? Then he's going to start searching us out.
Yeah.
And then they may sit in the back chat, you know, like Brother Elder Tiny Gun there did, right? And then he might come on and try to start something with us. But if we keep our cool,
that's one of the
got it won.
I think that, you know, we're old. I mean, as we get older, you learn people faster. You learn them better spiritually. And so when I'm in situations like that, a hostile environment, and it's a spiritual, way you act is a lot of times more important than what you say. And so their agenda is always, if they see that you're going to be dangerous, what you say is going to be dangerous to them, then their next agenda is to get you all animated and cursing and arguing. And it's
Now that brings me to what happened, or what they tried to do to me on the Lion's Den. When I went in, that was about a year ago. They had put up Brother Malachi Maccabee's STL channel, right? And they were showing Sister Tikva talking about Noah's Ark and the difference between the biblical Noah's Ark and the OAHSPE's version of Noah's Ark, or the Ark of Noah, you see. Right? Now, I thought it was live, right? And I thought it was Brother Malachi's channel. So I went in, popped the link, sat there, and waited. Boom! And then I found myself in the middle of the Lion's Den. Right? Now, at that time, I don't know how many people are here, but we had a sister that we called Swift Messenger. She popped back over on the Creator Gang channel. David's over there. David's in the Lion's Den. And everybody went over there, right?
Yeah.
And JJ, he was throwing questions at me right and left, right? I'm sitting there. You know how JJ talks. You don't get one question out before he starts another question and another question.
Yeah, he makes me laugh, man.
So I just let him ask all the questions, right? And then I picked one, what he said, and I tried answering that. And it was something like, well, Atmosphere is kind of like a college, right?
Yeah.
There's levels to this, right? Right now we're on Earth. We're in grade school. When we die, we're going to go to high school, and then we're going to progress up up through the grades there. When we learn what we're supposed to learn, and it's a long process, brother. But he wouldn't let me finish that. You know, he kept going and going, got animated and all wiggly wobbly. So I just sat back and let him do his wibbly wobbly, whatever that, I was just as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Right? And I never called him any names. I never called him a jock or anything. I showed him respect on his channel, you see. And he wanted me to stay on and keep talking, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to get out of there. There's nothing more that I wanted to do. Get my little white little butt out of there.
He felt like he could whoop up on you.
Yeah. And I just let him do his diatribe, and I think I made a mistake of instead of saying Jehovah, I might have said Jehovah, right? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you
jumped on
that works. Oh, you said our God.
Yeah.
Now, what do you mean? You're talking about our God? You're talking about your God? Who God you talking about?
Yeah.
You know how it goes, right? So I said, now, actually, after I let him do his, 15 million questions and hollering and screaming on his own channel, making a fool of himself on his own channel. I just sat there and let him make a fool of himself. I sit there and I said, now, here it is, brother. Creator don't really don't mind who you call him. You can call him Egoquim. You can call him Eloah. You can call him Jehovah, right?
Yeah.
You can call him Gitchy Manitou. You can call him any name. As long as you yourself know you're talking about creator and not a God sitting on a throne, which is an idol. And they heard that. They didn't like to hear it, but they heard it. You see.
And it may see, I know, man, in situations like that, and you already know that the host is most likely not going to believe you because he can't agree with you because it'll make him look too bad. So even when I got in that situation, I really just made up my mind to speak to whoever was listening. Because
Exactly.
you know that, like you said, after you get finished dealing with them, there was one brother who was a moderator. And when I was in that camp, I was probably closer to him than anybody. And I know the type of person he is, that he's going to check out what I was talking about because he has his own mind. He has a level of maturity. He knew that I was just landing too many blows on that guy. And the guy was muting me. He was wouldn't let me talk.
Oh yeah, see, all that makes a point on those who think.
That's your strongest witness right there. Because people that it's just like that debate when and I told Daryl and I told Selah, you probably conducted yourself pretty well, man, because they were getting all animated, and one guy was making the cutthroat sign, and the girl, she was, just busy smoking the pipe that she had and just shaking her head and laughing all the time, and they weren't looking good. But then at one particular point, I love what Daryl did, where he said, "Hey, look, man, if you want me to answer, I'll answer. But if not, I'm just be quiet." And I just started clapping there because when you got what we got, we don't need to force it on anybody.
Yeah. Brother Daryl.
It's really for your benefit. They don't see, they think that the Israelites think that they're supposed to just be able to push everybody around. And they haven't really, and most people fall for it, they fight even harder. But they ain't used to people like a brother Faithus who'll just say, "Hey, we don't have to, we can hold our peace." We don't have to, we ain't got to say anything really. It's really a blessing.
Yeah.
That
Brother Daryl Cosmon, Brother Daryl, he did exactly what I did. He let JJ 7000, he let him do his diatribe. He just sat back and listened, right? He did just exactly like I did when I was on that Lions and that year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
And that's really winning a debate right there. How you act, man, that's really like 60% of what you say. Because it shows the power of what you believe.
Now, even JJ's own people at the end of the debate started saying JJ lost it for us because he kept going over and over and over.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
You see? And he took the time away from the rest of his teammates who had rebutted.
Yeah.
So he never got heard. Now, JJ 7000, he's going around and saying, "Son never did it." He's crying like a little baby, right? He's challenging all of the 4 horsemen, anybody who will get up there and get on his platform. He brings Woodson Payne in the butt over there and tries to get somebody over there to go after him. Right, we're not going to do none of that. We're going to sit back and we're going to watch.
That's the thing right there, man. How do I say it, man? The OAHSPE don't need to be defended. Either you What do you mean, Chuck? Kind of like what I do. You want to take the mic and come on, bro?
Yeah, bring him on.
Just hit the link, bro, if you want to come on. Or Yapa, anybody.
Yeah.
What the OAHSPE, the thing about it, bro, is that it don't even need to be defended. It's going to win anyway, because the way of man, the destructive nature of man, it cannot go on. It cannot. It just falls upon itself at some point. When it reaches maximum density, it just collapses on itself. And the kingdom, the creator, the OAHSPE, is going to win by default.
Exactly.
It's the only way, man, that a system, a kingdom of men can perpetuate itself is by the principles that the OAHSPE is giving us. It ain't no other way, man. If you for yourself, if you're in a system like we're in, where there's corruption, there's people with agendas not working together, then it cannot, man, go on. Anybody can see that. And the creator, he's basically doing the same thing that we do in these debates. It's like, okay, you don't want to hear what I got to say? All right, hey, go, you go for it. I ain't got to say nothing. That's what I do now when I talk to people, and I see sometimes people, because people are proud, man. They are proud as hell, man. And they see, if you know, they feel like they can't let you win. I can't let them get over, especially the Israelites. They can't let you win. They can't. It's all about looking good in front of my brethren. I can't let somebody defeat me.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's like, you at some point, I love to tell brethren, at some point, everybody's going to subscribe.
Here's one. Have you ever seen like a Kemetist debate, like a Hebrew Israelite? You know, the Kemetic guy.
Somebody who's espousing Kemet.
Yeah. When they're debating a Hebrew guy or a Hebrew Israelite, they go at it like hammers and tongs. Bing, 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 bing. They start hollering to one another. They start, their debates are chaotic.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
You see, they're going to. They're so intent on each of their sides winning.
Yeah.
That they're not going to budge an inch.
Yeah.
We'll just back down. We'll just let them rant and rave all they want and look as stupid as they want, and we'll just sit back and sit there and grin like Forrest Gump. You see what I'm saying? Let them think we're stupid.
Yeah, that's what the creator, he does.
But
for
guess what? We won that debate, hands down. Even their own people that were on their side, on Elder Tiny Gun's side, said JJ threw it away.
Yeah, I can, when I was younger, when I was in camp with the Israelites, man, I mean, it reminds me, that verse comes to mind that I was talking about earlier in the video, man. It's the same thing with religion, period. There's something in, I think it's the first book, what I read from today, there's a verse where it says, in the cosmic era, people were going to be, now in this case, he was talking about his word, but the same is true in religion. People were going to be able to comprehend spiritual things, but whether they believed it, that was going to be another matter. See, and that's a form of spiritual separation that only the creator knows who's on what side. We're in that situation. We can be easily deceived. You got brethren who they know a lot, but whether they really believe, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
That's
that's really what I was talking about the other day on it really reminds me of the bridge of Chinbat. The bridge
Yeah.
of Chinbat, I was talking about, that's like a separation, a filter for basically brethren who are sincere, who are legitimate and genuine, from brethren who are not. So a lot of people play and I hate to say this, but from the Israelites are a hell of a learning experience for me, because the Bible, it gives them power over people. And that's what sucks them in to that doctrine. They know that most people don't read the Bible or are not spiritual in that way. And so they gravitate to that because they can beat the hell out of people with something they say they believe in, but then they can get easily shown you don't know what you're talking about because they've read it. It gives them power over people. But
now that's
yeah.
That's what kind of surprised me about that moderator kicking me off. Because I said, he asked me if I knew the button. I said no. And then
I remember that. Yeah.
Boom, off I went because he didn't want to debate me. Because the only thing I knew was OAHSPE. Guess what? He don't. I could put up chapter and verse.
See, I learned from people like him. I learn a lot. I learn about, because I look at people's character. I try to learn by looking at people's character, man. You know, I don't know what it does for me, but it's my way of seeing the Creator.
You see that? You see, that was another reason why he kicked me off, because he knew if I'm into OAHSPE, I should be able to, bring up a good argument against whatever he said.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He used the fact that I was Esau or white to boot me. Right?
Yeah.
To save face.
He's like a guy. I mean, see, I know that guy. I know him, and when he booted me and I came back on, I told him, I said, man, I know you. I know you. I know your character. I know your character. And basically, I was just trying to tell him that you can fake them out, but you're not faking me out.
Yeah.
You're not faking me out. I see right through you.
I was sitting right there. I was sitting right there in the back chat watching it.
Yeah.
When you was talking.
It's like when you don't care nothing about your integrity, when you don't care nothing about your character, that's gonna come out. I think a lot of people, they get fooled because they think tomorrow will never come. I just so happen to be the type of brother where I know tomorrow is coming. I know it's coming. All right.
Tomorrow came yesterday. Tomorrow came yesterday, and it came the day before. So when
it's time for me to cross over, I know that day is. It's always for some reason. I posted something in the room. Where the Creator, he said, I keep death before men.
Yeah.
I keep it before them. So they'll always remember your spiritual elevation. Basically, that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
He said, for that purpose, I keep it before them to let them know this is not all there is. And the good news is that there's much greater, man. The problem is that nobody can really receive that, believe it, care about it because of the pull of the earth. But I'm one of them brethren who I always live with that knowledge in my mind that tomorrow is going to come, and I want to be ready for it, for one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I believe that, another thing I read, it talked about the body, and you know all this, and everybody here knows all this, but I still find it interesting how the OAHSPE describes us as being in we're in captivity to the flesh. We're in captivity to the flesh right now.
We are.
So our release, our being born again, which is the releasing of the flesh, is of great value. It's of great value to brethren who know, of great value.
Yeah, the body is the physical corporeal body is simply a womb for the spirit.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it said, a womb of the spirit. So I keep in my mind knowing that that I am the one making up my eternity, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I love that opportunity. It's like telling me I could stack as many dollars as I could stack.
That's
this, you know, to use a vulgar example.
True. Yeah.
But that's how I see reality. I don't know why I think and feel that way, but I look at brothers like, you know, who we were dealing with yesterday, and they just make me shake my head because you play with God, but the joke's going to be on you. It's going to be, if you're anything less than sincere, the joke is on you, brother. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
It ain't on the creator. It's on you, brother.
You see, our creator, he loves us so much that he allows us all the liberty we can take.
Yeah.
You see. But by the same token, we have to take the responsibility of that which we do. We know the rules, and there's times that I don't follow the rules exact. You know, everybody falls short, but as OAHSPE says, you don't look at your brother's fault.
Oh, that's a good point.
You keep,
but you can learn off of them. That's for sure.
Right. His fault is between him and the creator.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, you're right. But you can certainly learn off of them.
Exactly. You know? Yeah.
I love,
you take stock of yourself every day. You know what you did right. Exactly. You know what you did wrong.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Try to do better tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you said something to somebody that you were short with them or something,
right?
Try to make it up to them tomorrow. Saying, "Oh, brother, I'm sorry that I acted the way I did or said what I said.
Yeah.
I was in a bad mood."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or at least try to make amends. You know, it goes a long way.
I certainly agree with you, man. I do. It's very hard because it's ingrained in me to want to get back, and I don't like being slighted, and you know that vibration is still heavy on me. And
brother,
one good thing I found is that before you go out into the world, now this helps me a lot, man. I say to myself, okay, now Yaquab, you're out here, you're in the beast kingdom. You're going to be cut off, you're going to be cussed out, you're going to be violated, and it's going to be up to you to deal with all things spiritually. You got to deal with all things spiritually because the creator is the one putting this in your path to sharpen you. He's doing it. You got to remember that. And that helps me a lot. Yeah. Things like crazy things happen to me when I go out there. You know, it's like something out of nowhere could, you know, let me see if I can give you a good example. I mean, you already know what I'm talking about. I mean, incidental things like, let me see, what happened today? Oh, and I failed today. Today I failed. Now, I was out there when I'm just hanging out. I go outside front of my apartment, and I hang out, and then the drunks come by and we talk, the Uzians, they come by and we talk. And I always say, now listen, you're talking to an Uzian, you're talking to a drunk. Keep that in mind, don't let them trigger you or anything, And so I was out there, and the place where I live, people, they got problems. Some got mental problems, some physical problems. This is a place for us. So I was sitting out there, and these 3 white guys was talking, right? And I heard one of them say, the subject of monkeys came up. And I was right there. I had my back to them, but they know I could hear them. And then one guy said, yeah, and a lot of them live here. And it took all my strength, and I did it. I congratulated myself. I didn't get involved. I didn't say anything. I just said, man, just forget it. Yaquab, just forget it, And then I passed the test. And then this morning I came out, and that dude was right in front of my face. And I let him have it, man. I mean, I just exploded on him, And if I hadn't been in his chair, I'd probably still be choking that guy, And so that's like my life story. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, But
brother, a lot of the times our fight is actually between ourselves. Our spirit and our corporeal tetrarchs trying to get back or take revenge, or for that's truth, that's the real fight right there. Man.
I mean, and that you just took the words out of my mouth, man. I don't like to do that. I don't like. I mean, that really. I don't like to lose like that, man. Most of the time I can do it, where some offense will happen and I can just let it go. And then sometimes I get blindsided, I get this evil spirit on me and I just lash out, man. And most days I win. A lot of days I lose in the spirit. But if it wasn't for this word, if it wasn't for what the Creator is showing me now, and how He's really allowing this stuff to be orchestrated, giving me the lesson of a pearl, how it's created by friction, and it becomes a pretty, priceless item, and the same is happening to us. It's an age-old lesson, man.
And the fire, it burns away the dross.
Yeah.
In fact, this morning, it was Brother Cosmo and Cal. We went through the whole book of Fragapati. The part where Fragapati was teaching Hoab, right? And built him up to a god because he was going to make Hoab the god of heaven and earth when he left it to dawn of Dan. And that was that dawn. What did I say? I think it was 5 or 6 years. That particular dawn of Dan during the time of Zarathustra. You see. And if you know anything about the book of Fragapati, old Hoab, he was, just a good old country boy. He was, fairly well complacent with utilitarian things, right? So his heavens weren't jolly. They were more like, oh, ho hum, another day, another dollar. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do today? Right. Bored stiff. You see, nothing to
Was
really.
that was that God that basically told Frag and Patty, look, man, let me chill out, okay? Please, will you leave our kingdom alone? We all sitting here, you know, we drinking beer in the corner, having a good time.
Actually,
you leave us alone.
Actually, Frag and Patty, he got him by saying, "Well, I can give you a key." Right, so that you'll never be afraid to lose your kingdom again. Now that got Moab's attention because he didn't want to lose his kingdom.
Yeah.
Right. So then he got interested in what Fragapati was going to say. Right.
Yeah. And
so
he repented too. He repented too, didn't he? I mean, he sincerely repented.
When they came back, right, and started and found that hell. Right.
Yeah.
That was when things started to, because Fragapati threw up his arms, north, south, east, and west, and said, "A wall of fire, hemming them Jews right in there." Right, and then he started to pour on the brightness of Creator. Right, and then Jews started scurrying around like rats. Right.
Yeah.
The whole ad was kind of like sitting there with his mouth open, like, "Holy crap, what's going on?" Right? And then Fragapati, for pity's sake, brother, help me with these. Right? Or so, brother, I'm undone. Turn down your light. No, shall I turn it up another 1,000-fold? Or shall we send these guys packing, let them go where they're supposed to go, or do what they want to do?
Yeah.
And brother, I'm undone. Right?
Yeah.
He says, well, while the power holds on, if you ever had faith in Jehovah, have it now.
Yeah.
And say these words, and that was like, through fire, torments, heaven, give me wherever you will, Creator, and I'll bear it up. Right?
Yeah.
And when he finally found that courage to do that, he turned crystalline. All the dross had burned away. Right? And then Fragapati says, "Oh, go ahead and practice on your brothers. Right? Build them up also. That little spark that you started is going to be a great fire. It's going to spread." It did. You see, and they cleaned up that hell right then and there within what was that, a month, 30 days, or something like that. Anyway, it was a pretty quick period of time. Because the Ethereum Arvat came to help also, right? Because this was a big hell knot.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you know what the theme of the OAHSPE is that I can see right now? The theme is that being wise in our own conceits, man. I mean, we simply don't know what awaits us. We simply have lost reverence for the Creator, what he can do. And I look at the lessons of the false gods, the lords and the angels, that they simply forgot about the majesty of the Creator. And then the instant they get reminded, man, they immediately throw themselves down and immediately repent, man. They get a little taste of his glory. And then immediately, man, it's like, they just, you know what I mean, beside themselves with regret. And that's the one lesson that I see the common theme running throughout the OAHSPE is man gets a taste of the glory of the Creator, and that does the trick right there, man or God. And so
Yeah.
I know that in this reality, I know it's the same. The Creator is showing me it's going to be the same way. And faithists don't really need that blast of reality to come after me. They've already got something in them. They're going to subscribe to this word, and it just, it's I don't know how to say it, but it's just all good for brethren who can subscribe to what the Creator is doing now. And I just in my heart believe it just gets better, and it's worth waiting for. But
it's going to get better because Creator's got the plan. We may not be privy to the plan, but there are higher and higher and higher realms.
Yeah, I really believe that. I mean, I don't know why, but it's for me, it's easy.
Well, but we know this already. A lot of these after death experiences tell us this.
Yeah. They give. See, I listen to them sometime too. I like that last one I seen with that lady, man. She sounded like a faithist and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But they have a common theme too. They talk about the glory of God, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they always say, man, I was in a place, or they always talk about the love vibration. You know what I mean? Or
and
they don't want to come back. Or the talking about the Father, the way they felt and what they saw, and things, like that. They just solidified my thinking. I think, I probably didn't even need to even hear things like that in order to believe the things that I do now. Me personally, it's just icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
So,
there's a certain vibration with those stories also.
Yeah.
And that when they say God, they're not talking about idol. They're talking about Creator himself.
Yeah. I believe that, man.
Yeah. You can feel it. It's palpable. You can feel it. You know it.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe it. You know it.
Yeah. That's the only thing that can keep me going. It's the only thing that can keep me going, man, because I mean, and the bad part for me, I don't know what the word is for it. The only negative thing, the thing that was painful for me was being so young, and the things that I always thought spiritually when I was younger, and I couldn't get the questions that I had in my mind. I could never. I just knew something. Like I hear a lot of spiritual brethren say, they all say the same thing, man. A lot of brethren were younger, and they just thought about things that were not worldly. They just had some type of mind where it's like they left the world way back then. It's like they picked up on what reality was at an early age, man, and they got on that road to try to find that place that was in their mind, in their heart, and they just had to wait until the Creator stepped in, until after you take enough of a licking and you get humble in the world. That's what's been the case for me. It's been because I was deceived a lot, man. You got to go through a lot of deception, at least for me. But I endured it. I endured it. And, it's easy for me to see how it goes when you're talking about the Creator, how the testings, and that's all how I see life is.
Myself, I had to go through a lot of learning. You see, I read like 2 footlockers full of books from everything from Aardvark or Adam to Zarathustra.
Hey, Dave, let me stop you for 1 second. You know, the OAHSPE, it says the Creator has given men two ways of learning, right? You remember reading that?
Yeah, yeah, sure do.
By reasoning and by spirit.
Yeah. Or subjective and objective.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who, me?
Yeah, I interrupted you. I was saying go ahead.
Well, anyway, I had a lot of learning to go through, right? Now I used to subscribe to a magazine called Fate, and people have told me that OAHSPE was always the Wing Anderson edition of OAHSPE was always a staple of that magazine as an advertisement. Guess what? I had months and months of those, but I never saw that OAHSPE ad in any of
I
them.
remember you telling me that. I remember. Hey,
Right?
hey.
I was not ready, so
Got my brother here.
Creator blinded my eyes. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I remember you telling me that. I remember that. Hey, bro. Yeah, that's my brother. Hey, you got the eye surgery thing on.
Oh yeah, I have to wear it for 7 days. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Sound good.
Dave, I'm so glad you're back. How you doing?
Just fine there, brother. I've been having the time of my life with a lot of these Hebrew Israelite brothers.
Yeah, I don't like when you have my brother worrying like that. He was going crazy when he thought he lost you.
Well, it was no big thing. He didn't really lose me because I popped up several times on his page and say, "Hey, you ain't lost me, brother. I'm still here, and we'll figure out how to get me back on the chat again eventually. It just takes a little time, and we did."
Yeah, I'm glad. How you feeling, bro? How you going? How's it going with you?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we use brother a lot, and it can mean men.
Oh yeah.
It can mean sisters or brothers. If you talk to me, I just kind of hung out today. You know, I'm looking at I was looking at some townhomes and homes in Arizona in Tucson, because the spirit is telling me I may have to move. I don't know if it's my mind or if it's the creator. But
yeah.
I think that I'm on the verge of getting like a big windfall for my claims. I have like 3 of them out, and they're all, I think it's about the time they're coming home to roost. So if that happens, I got a real dream, man, of getting that Faith This Party lit, man, where I can have property and have get it started. Brethren, you know, we have brethren get it started, live together, have a community. So today or yesterday, I was looking at some property and houses and townhomes, and I'd like to get some property where I could build on it, and because I know that I don't want to go on and on, but I'm thinking I'm also trying to, out here it's like money is king, and where I live it's like a deal, and I don't suspect that they will allow this type of deal to go on without changing their mind and requiring full value for the property that the complex sits on, because the land is just too valuable. And even though it's a contracted place between them and the VA, I don't suspect them to want to hold to it. So I'm just trying to be wise. And if I need to, I got a plan B. So I just been, kind of, if I have to take off, I want to go back to Tucson. And I'd really like to get some property and build on it. And then let the brothers come to me. Well, one way or another, I think that I was just telling Dave earlier that, I won't get geopolitical on you, So I just do a lot of hanging out lately, enjoying the California sunshine. I'm glad I'm not in the downtown area, or I'd probably be in a lot of trouble. So out here where I'm at, it's kind of quiet. But
I'm going to tell you, brother, when you go to Tucson, you're going to get really warm really quick because it's pretty hot in Tucson.
I already know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can fry an egg on your head, man. I'm telling you.
I spent one summer in Quartzsite, Arizona, and that's right next to Blythe, Ehrenberg, the area. Ehrenberg, Arizona, and Blythe, California. Next town over is Needles.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Right. So that's really hot. And it gets about 125 in the shade. Man. I loved it. Heat don't bother me.
Oh boy. I mean, it's like the funny thing about Tucson is right at 10 o'clock in the morning, it goes up like 30 degrees in the summer.
Yeah,
it's like right at 10 o'clock, man. Boom, it goes way up.
Same here in Bullhead City in the summertime.
Yeah, it's got a hold on me. I mean, I'm in the perfect. If I could choose any place to live, though, it would be right here. I was telling my brother that I saw a movie one time in a movie theater, and it was Richard Pryor. It was a movie he was in. There was a scene in that movie that I said to myself, I'm going to live out there. And then I found out it was California. And now the area that I live in is the perfect representation of what I saw on the screen. It's like what I saw was, I saw the land was going like uphill. And then in the background were mountains. And that's exactly where I am right now. So can't tell me that's not the creator.
Oh, yeah. Definitely created
exactly the layout that I saw on the screen. Exactly.
Hey, I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
And I don't, if this is not the right question, I don't, just, you can always say later, later, I'll give you the answer later or something like that. But what was it that got you into the Hebrew Israelites? What ignited that flame for you?
When you find out that God says that you are special, and it can be, they prove it to where you can understand it. That's pretty seductive. It's pretty seductive. And their drawing card is that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the people of God. And so that was very, very attractive to me. Very attractive to me. And it gives you a feeling of superiority over people that's very, very attractive, very seductive. And so I really bought into that because of the power that you have over people. I mean, you get taught, and then you go out there, and when you were taught that you have a victim mentality, and now you have a chance to get them back, that's pretty hard to, what's the good word for reject? It's pretty hard to reject that type of doctrine, I'll say. So it gave me a lot of power. It gave me a sense of importance, and I was looking for the Creator anyway, and it was just they were in the right place at the right time. But I look at it, they were like a test. But I love the power that they gave me. I mean, I could just destroy. I could destroy people. So I was on a power trip to answer your question. And it's a terrible shame, but I got out of it at least. So to answer your question, all religions are kind of like their real strength is it gives you power over people one way or another, but the OAHSPE takes it away, which is funny to me. It don't give you, it tells you, it changes, it forces you to change your mind about people. Hey, bro, I don't want to preach. You know, the short answer is it gave me a lot of power. Just to answer your question. Does that make sense?
Did you feel, I mean,
the Hebrew Israelites was like a pretty woman asking me out. You know, you walk down the street, they see you and your girl. She's giving you a lot of glory. You feel good about yourself. You know, I mean, I'm being facetious, but I'm just trying to make a simple point. You know, it's what they can do for you, really. The benefit you get out of being joined to something or someone is,
they're basically building up your self-esteem.
Yeah, they do. That's what
and their masters is that.
That's what the doctrine of the Hebrew Israelites do. Because a lot of people need something to feel good about, man. So they can tap into a very fertile ground. When you appeal to somebody's self-esteem, you know what I mean? You can tap into a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a lot of money, you know. You tell them oppressed people, man, you're the one that's on top, you know. You got the power, you know. And then you show them from a source that the whole world says they believe in, and you got them, you know. I don't know if that makes sense, Chuck.
Oh yeah. The whole premise makes sense because that's been used through history.
Yeah.
Because you see, whenever someone tries to make a people feel special, feel chosen, they always have to have an enemy.
Yeah.
Go after.
But see, you know, the thing with the Hebrew Israelites is that's the power of the false gods.
Yeah.
They got ability. I'm telling you, man, false gods have the ability to deceive people. And I can see what the plan of the Creator was. He gave, you know, like the Mohammedans, they have their book. Hindus have their book. Yeah, like Yahweh says, a God spell. Everybody, the false gods give people a source, and they say that this is from a spiritual being that you know nothing about, but this is who you should worship. And so the false gods, they give men one of the things that they give men is the Bible. We didn't know about the Bible. I mean, growing up, that it was inspired by false gods. We had no way to tell. We didn't know. Nobody told us. We just grew up believing.
Yeah.
And so
They realize that, and they have kingdoms that they want to. They have kingdoms that they want to trap people into, and it works because
Yeah.
you have nothing else to compare what they are saying. For a long time, it's like that. That's how you get sucked in.
Yeah.
And it's just got to be the grace of the Creator to break that. He's got to break that deception. He's the only one who can do it. And the situation now is different for me because it should be easy to conclude, man, that it's better to do right by people, to at least try. It's better. I want people to be treated right, man. I want somebody, hey, look at that dog, man. That's horse. Horse. He don't care nothing about me. Hey, but that was a good question. I like that. That was a pretty good question, bro. Everybody, there's very few people that do anything that it don't have a benefit. There's got to be some motivation to do anything. I mean, go to work to get paid. Same thing in the spirit. It made me feel good. Gave me a sense of power. Paid for my house. Gave me a car, something like that. It's always something, But the OAHSPE is different because it deals with the whole, it puts things in such a perspective that it should be easy. I mean, the type of agenda that the OAHSPE has is for the brotherhood of men. The brotherhood of men living under the Creator in a kingdom that really the whole world wants, but don't know how to attain it. But they're gonna attain it one way or another. Men will be a brotherhood where things like shooting somebody, you know what road I can go down with that. The things that you see going on today. Hey, Dave, I was looking at a video about Anthony Fauci. You know who Fauci is, right?
Yeah. He's the fellow that I'm going to say kind of came up with that COVID 19 thing because he was over in China.
Yeah,
working on that.
He
believe
is
it or not.
Man, these people, oh my goodness, man. They do it they don't mind. They do not mind killing people for money. That's where we live. They don't mind, man. And then that's the kingdom that we live in. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat anything. You know what I mean? You don't know if you're going to go somewhere and somebody, ends up knocking you off for something you have. I don't want no part of that kingdom, man. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what this kingdom is like.
Yeah.
At this point.
I don't want, and the kingdom of man will never see. We're declining. You know how the OAHSPE, it talks about that section where the scores of people was going down and down. Remember the harvest? It was saying that the score, the spiritual elevation of man was like 99.
Yeah.
Then it was like 90.
Yeah.
And then it was like 91. Then it was 80. Then it was 70. Then it was 60. And then when the Creator sunk that continent, it had got down to the elevation. It got down to like 20.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Remember?
Yeah. because
what-
no one was eligible for
no
resurrection.
one was
You've got to
redeemed.
be at least 51%.
Yeah, to be capable of eternal life.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that kingdom, man. I don't want it to where, you know, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Where something can happen to family.
Oh,
Somebody,
it will get down there.
yeah,
But everybody is capable of eternal life now.
yeah,
Even the worst drug that you can think of.
yeah, yeah,
When he gives up his physical form, his corporeal form, he's going to be a Julian angel,
yeah,
but he will still exist.
yeah.
You see,
I like the OAHSPE for the hope that it gives. That's
and
if I had to put it in one sentence. For
it,
the
it will
hope,
be it will be like angels like yourself and myself, brother, that go raise these Julian angel brothers up. They're brothers,
yeah,
but they're not like us, but they're brothers.
yeah,
You see, JJ,
yeah,
he's not my enemy. He's my brother,
yeah, yeah,
right? The same thing with Sister Naphtali, Sister Napa Shada, right?
yeah,
They're my sisters, right? They may not agree with me. I may not agree with them, but they're still my sisters. They're family. They're not enemy.
yeah. I like the way the OAHSPE, the way it tells you how to how to conduct yourself. Where so far as like one of the things that comes to my mind is how it basically is telling you, and one of the things that I'm trying to work on is like today I said I exploded on this guy, and up until that point, man, I was doing good. I see a work that's helping me to kill off the old man completely. There's a power to the OAHSPE that's helping me, but sometimes I lose, man, and but overall I win way more than I lose, and so I see some power in the OAHSPE that I
Yeah.
like. Now, when I was in the Israelites, we always came that close, man, to doing knuckle battle with guys out there in the street. I'm telling you, man, that close, and
Yeah,
you want that. So you want that then, right?
I've
And
seen
nowadays, guys, they pull out weapons. All right.
I've
So
seen
you,
I've seen videos of that. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what you want then, right? That's what you want for your life.
Not
And
not
so
me,
that's why,
but not me. But like I'm saying, when Creator tells me it's time to come home, I'm ready, willing, and able to go anytime.
oh, I'm
That's
with
the
you
way I
there.
live my life.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man.
And I will leave no regrets because everyone that I meet is my brother or my sister, and I try to treat them like family, no matter how they treat me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that resonates. That
This
resonates
is
with me.
non-resistance to
It
me.
takes a lot of trouble. It's already hard enough, man, to live in the world without you adding to it. And so, it's easy to make it hard on yourself. I'm not for that. So it got to a point where I realized the Bible was lying to me because I'm looking for comfort, but you get me in a lot of trouble. There's a mix up here. It can't be the truth, man. If I'm out here in danger, I like what Daryl said. I like what he said. Remember that time he came in, he said, He said, "Hey man, you want to know how the Creator feel about you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "What do people say about you?" And I was like, "Oh wow, man, thank you.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe that, man." So I thought, man, I well, the OAHSPE, that's where it helped me. You change your mind about how you deal with people. That's the purpose. Yeah, go ahead.
There's an old saying that goes along, something along the lines of this: if you're not part of the solution
Yeah,
to the problem,
you're part of the problem.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
And me, I try every day my very, very best to be the part of the solution to the problem.
Yeah. Because it's amazing how
myself every once in a while I fail also. So I just pick myself back up by my bootstraps and keep on chugging along and try to do better the next day.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dave, let me see. Let me be quiet for a second, man. Let me try to force my brother to say something. Don't say anything. Let's force him to say something.
Say what? I'm just thinking.
What are you thinking about?
The reason when it comes to spirituality and who's going to gravitate to what, it's going to I think it's more of the messenger and how people relay that message is going to be the way that people gravitate towards whatever gospel, spirit, Christianity that they going to want to listen to. Because when I was listening to you and the other guy, what was that, about a couple weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, probably
on the video
before you had the thing with the I guess he was a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, the time that Brother Yara came in. Gerald Cosman was on also the day before the debate. And that was about a week ago.
Yeah, the day when he accidentally booted you.
Yeah, that was about a week ago.
Of course, I'm going to favor my brother because he's my brother. I'm going to favor him. And because he's my brother, I'm going to listen to him more intently. But, it's not like that guy wasn't making any points. But when I stand back and I overlook at what's being said in this room, I just think to myself, and it was one thing about like when Kurt was in them Hebrew Israelites, and the reason why I asked that question, I felt from me standing back, listening, overseeing a lot of hate, too much hate, which made me say I would never want to be a part of that. And there's nothing that they could say, or I see you can always, I guess, kind of fish me in, reel me in, I guess. But I guess once I see or I get a feel what's going on, and the water's too cold, or there's something about this ain't right. I'm the kind of person where I can back up out of that. I might have said I'm down for the cause, but now it's something about this cause that don't feel right to me. It ain't it don't sound right. It those are kind of thoughts that I be having. I can imagine, if Rick came in here, and I know Dave, you don't know Rick. he's our first cousin, but you know, he's very well spoken and he's very well educated. And he would have, and he's a Christian, and he would definitely have a whole nother side of questions that I would not be able to raise. So
Yeah, yeah.
only thing I could do is just sit back and listen and see what fits me and what you know, try to look at the long run and not the short run.
But that's good, brother Choosy Tube, because you're listening with your heart.
Oh man, that was good. That's a good analysis right there.
That's good because you're listening with your heart, brother. Whereas the brother you mentioned, brother Rick, he'd be coming from his head and not his heart, because being well versed in his Christian doctrine, you see, he'd be using that Bible. But we've got a lot of different refutes for the Bible. If you've watched any of our debates, or if you've watched any of our brothers' videos, their teaching videos, such as Brother Daryl Cosmon, Brother Sheila Shalom, Brother Malachi Maccabee. We call them the four horsemen because there's four of them, and they go up against anybody. They're like little pit bulls, and they'll grab on and they'll just keep a shaking you until you give. Or even if you don't give, they'll just keep on going until the time runs out.
I've never seen a debate, but I know how Christianity can get sometimes when people, you know, read from different books or
Well,
pray for the different gods, and it can be get kind of heated.
this one, these debates aren't against the Christians at this point.
Hey, Hasten ass, why don't you come on?
They're
Hasten ass. How come you ain't coming on? Are you a chicken? I'm changing your name to Chicken. I'm sorry, brothers. Go ahead.
I wanted you to get out and see if you get Sister A. Snath on. But like I'm saying, this is not against the Christians at this point. But even though a false god started their religion, we believe, we're at this point debating Hebrew Israelites. But today, I saw a video that a Christian apologist came on to try to uphold.
Hey, Dave, can you hold on a second? Hey, Hasten ass. So what? Come on anyway. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead, man. She said her nose is plugged up.
The video I saw today, there was a Christian apologist that came on upholding the Hebrew Israelite side. Right. So eventually, yeah, we're going to be mixing it up with the Christian faith also. And we'll go in with them just like we did.
Yaffa. Peace, love, and light, Yaffa. Shalom.
We'll probably go in on them just like we did the Hebrew Israelites if they decide to debate us, or if we decide to debate. We've had a lot of debates, and I think we want to start teaching now our people, or people who decide to come to us, that we're not any type of evil demonic cult like they're attempting to portray us as.
Yeah, I love my brother's point, man. You know, he follows his heart, and
Yeah,
that's a gift that you can't really teach. That, you know, that's a gift.
that's definitely a gift from Creator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a gift from the creator right there, man. Because I mean, he turned out to be right. My brother turned out to be right about he would not bite. He just wouldn't bite. And we used to do some strong witnessing on him. And I had to respect the fact that his heart, it led him into uh, the correct decision. And I'm only just now finding it out. See, I had to learn the hard way.
well,
And
brother,
the,
I'm going to back on out of here and see if you can get somebody else to come on in here, and
oh,
I'm
okay.
going to give you the
Oh, yeah,
username sign
brother.
here, and you have yourself a good evening now. And
Okay.
brother Choosy Tube, good to see you on here, and hope to see you on again, talking with us.
Yeah, it's
Peace
always
and
good seeing
blessings,
you.
brothers. Bye
It's
bye
always
now.
good seeing you. Okay.
All right, bro. Man, that was good to listen to. But I have to really say I appreciate you saying that, and I have to really respect that. Because there are people, you know, there's an old saying in the world to lead with your heart, lead with your heart, and there's another part to it, but I forget what that is. But I have found that with this situation, sometimes you got to like just make mistakes. And then I love what Uncle Harold used to say. You say, Kurt, with life, you got to wait until you hit your stride. He said, one day you're going to hit your stride. And what that means is that everything is just going to kind of fall into place. Sometimes you might learn it when you're younger or when you get older. And I think I've learned that the most important thing, spiritually speaking wise, is going to bring together. It's not going to separate. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
That's kind of confusing.
well, in the sense that things feel right, they sound right. He equates that with like hitting your stride. That's what the context he was using it in. So when you are involved with something and you just agree with, I mean, you just agree with it in a way that, you know, you have the maturity level to um, resonate with what it is that you believe, that you're believing. I don't know. I don't want to confuse you, you know, but this is a situation where people just have to wait until they hit their stride, so to speak. You can't force this type of thing on people. They just have to get to that on their own journey. When you're talking about spirituality, that's what I've learned. We've just got to take our own road.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't force it on nobody. All you can do is hope for the best for them. Oh, brother, I appreciate you. The dog looks like he's doing okay.
Oh yeah.
And
He definitely is.
he looks good. That's for sure. So you probably be off for the next few days, right?
Yeah, I had to go in today and they checked me out and you know, I got 20/20 vision in my eye now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Tell you, it is like looking through a HD lens.
Yeah. It's like day and night, ain't it?
Clear. Oh man,
Hey, when they got finished with you, you
I
could
couldn't
see,
see.
right?
I couldn't see anything.
When they got
My
finished
eye
with
was
you.
open. My eye was open, but I couldn't see. And I was asking Ann, I said, is my eye open? And she said, yeah, it's open. I said, well, I can't see out of it. And a couple hours later, my vision just started coming back
Uh-huh.
slowly but surely. And
So
now,
you had a chance to see out of it before you put the mask on.
no, when I left the hospital, they had this, they put this thing on when I left, and they told me to keep it on. And the only time that I was taking it off was when I was putting drops in my eye.
Uh-huh.
So when I was taking it off to put the drops in, I was telling Ann, it feels like my eye is still closed. And then I was asking her, is my eye closed? She said, no, it's open. I said, well, I can't see anything out of it. And plus, it felt like it was closed. So when I
Well,
went
how do
to,
you know you have 20/20?
that's when I went to the hospital today when I did the checkup after.
Oh,
I had
okay.
the procedure done yesterday,
Right.
and I had to go back in today because they wanted to see. And then they did the eye test on me, and I took this off this morning, and when I was able to look out, I mean, oh man, everything is so vibrant and alive, and
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it.
oh man, it is like a whole brand new crispy, you know. It's hard to explain. It's like being alive for the first time, waking up after being dead, and you get to see everything,
Yeah,
and you just want to see everything.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like looking at digital as opposed to
Yeah, HD, eight high def. You
yeah,
know
yeah,
when when you was looking at the a coloring book, and the colors all kind of ran together. Now you get to see something in HD, HD quality, the highest definition you can get.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then when they did the reading test on me, uh, on my eyes, she said, your vision's back to 2020.
So you don't even need reading glasses then.
I do need reading glasses for stuff that's real close. Like right now, well, this eye hasn't been done yet, and I can barely read what it is that you got on the screen.
So they're going to do your other eye too.
Yeah, I had to have both eyes done, and but I have to wait till September to get my other eye done because the lady who did my eyes, she's going to be having a baby. She's going on maternity leave next week.
Uh-huh.
So she said I could go somewhere else and have them do it. I said no, no, I want you to do it. I mean, it was a beautiful experience. Oh, it was
Uh-huh.
so great. They treated me like I was in a 5-star hotel.
Oh man, how do you like that?
I loved it. I loved it. I
Right.
loved it. And I was, how scary I get sometimes. Because I'm thinking, they're going to pull my eyeball out, put the cataract lens in there, and I'm going to be in so much pain. And I never did feel no pain at all, nothing.
Well, I think everybody has that anxiety. You talk about surgery anywhere on your body,
Yeah, yeah, I never did. And I don't know if you can really see this, but I was telling this girl, they got me looking like the black Captain Hook. And
Yeah.
I'll try to, I don't know if you can really see it, but she told me She said they put a speaker on your eye.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you look like a gargoyle. You know? Yeah. Well, brother, you're gonna have to let me go, man.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
running on empty now, so
Yeah, well, you know it's past my bedtime. I'm usually in my at least my second dream by now. It's
so you're gonna be off until you take your mask off.
actually I could go back to work tomorrow if I wanted to.
And drive with one eye?
No, I could take this off.
Oh, okay.
I could
Okay.
take it off. They just don't want me to bump it.
Ah,
That's the
I
reason why
see.
I have to keep this on. They don't want me to rub it,
Oh, okay, okay.
uh, poke it or anything like that. So,
Right, right. All right, well, brother, I'm going ahead and
oh,
I'm gonna
thank
check out, man.
you. How you say her name? Asenath? Asenath Hill.
Oh, she says,
And
I'm
how,
happy you're doing well. I'm happy you're doing well. Two of my brothers has that surgery. One lost the sight, but it came back. Oh, okay.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It I couldn't see nothing out of it. I couldn't see nothing. And I told Ann, I was asking Ann if my eye was open. And she said the
Uh,
eye was open, but I couldn't see anything out of it. And I looked in the mirror, I could see that my eye was open, but it was dark. So
mm-hmm,
I didn't know if the surgery, I didn't know if
mm-hmm.
it was a box surgery or I didn't know, but it came back. And I knew it came back because when I had this thing on, it's got little bitty old holes in it.
Right.
And I was able to finally see some light coming through the holes.
Uh,
So
mm.
yeah. How your brothers feel now after the surgery? Asking that. That's- How you do they like their vision now?
She said their eyes are perfect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know the feeling. So I won't get my right eye done until September when she comes back, but oh, it is such a perfect. Perfect is the good word. Good word for it. You said, Kurt, didn't you say you had your eyes? You had something done to your eyes, right?
Yeah. I let me see. What was it? Maybe a cataract where he basically it's like he pulled off like a piece of cloudy plastic or something for me.
And cleaned it.
They do the surgery while you're not under any anesthesia. And it looked like he put something on my eye and it just sucked out a piece of plastic looking something, like a little plastic piece of fog. And it's like it looked like a piece of gelatin or something. And
Yeah.
right when I was awake, no anesthesia or anything like that, they did it. It takes about 30 seconds. And, I drove home. I know what you mean, though, about the vision. It's a whole different set of eyes. It
Oh,
seems like the one eye covers for both your eyes.
yeah. When I cover up
Yeah.
my left eye and look out my right eye, everything looks foggy and dusty.
Mm-hmm.
Even right now, if I was to cover this up, to look
Mm-hmm.
my right eye, it just looks. But I've been getting along with it for so long. It's like you just learn to deal with it. I wonder what kind of procedure you had though, because they put me to sleep for 5 minutes and then they had to wake me up.
Uh, Well, I think it was cataract surgery. I don't. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure.
what I had. I had
Pretty sure.
cataracts and glaucoma.
Hmm. Well, brother, you're gonna have to let me go, man, because
Okay.
I'm running on fumes.
Okay.
So
Well, I,
just remember, man, when you make the pinto beans, fresh beans. See you,
oh,
Ace Nat. Peace, love, and light. When you make the pinto beans, you probably already know this, but today was such a spectacular success for me. I got to share it. Use fresh beans.
yeah.
Fresh beans. If you do the quick soak method, which is what I did, rinse them, pull the bad beans out, boil it, bring it to a boil for a couple of minutes, turn it off, let it stand for an hour, and then rinse it, add some cups of water, about 6 or 8 cups. And man, I'm telling you, it was like restaurant quality, the beans, man, refried. I even refried them. I'm telling you, man, you will thank me later, bro.
Yeah.
You good at making pinto beans?
I love pinto beans. That releases the gas in them with the way that you did it. Gets
Yeah.
the gas out of them.
Well, you put an onion and garlic in it. I think that does something too, you know. But it's also fiber, a lot of fiber.
I don't like cooked onions, so I put the onions in afterwards. I like my onions kind of
Crispy.
raw.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but
Yeah.
I make mine in a crock pot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would have been really proud of me, man. You know, you would have
I
been
know you
really
did.
proud.
I still remember eating the mashed potatoes when we came over, when me and Mama came over there.
Yeah, yep, yeah. We still good friends. Me, mashed potatoes. You know, I just don't. I just don't eat any meat anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, I try to eat like. But the stuff they give you now, man, it's like it's hard to tell. It's hard to taste the difference. It's a trip, man. That's what scares you more than anything.
What did
And
you season the beans with, though?
what did I season the beans with? I just put garlic in there, put onion in there. Well, that's the way this Mexican lady told me to do it. Put an onion in, let it cook, hour and a half. Put garlic in to do something else to it. I guess take away the acidity. And I'm telling you, man, because out here Mexican restaurants are on every corner, and it looked and tasted just like they do it, man. You know, just like they do it. And then you make your burrito and you are home free. Put all the vegetables and the sour cream and the avocado and you it fills you up and
Mama
I
used to
love it.
love that avocado. She loves that chipotle avocado. Oh man, she always used to have me give her big scoops of that. I don't
Oh,
like
man.
avocado. Mama did.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
don't like avocado or sour cream.
You don't?
Uh-uh.
Uh-huh.
No.
Well, brother, you're gonna have to let me check out on you, man, and I'll check back with you.
Okay, I'm great. Go to bed too.
All right.
All right.
So you haven't heard from Mark, have you, by the way?
He called yesterday, but I didn't answer the phone because he called too late.
Okay. All right, brother. I'll let you go. I'll check back with you. Thanks for checking in. Thank you for checking in.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
All right, brother.
Okay.
All right. That's my brother. Want to give thanks to Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for restoring my brethren to me. I want to give thanks also for the opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Brethren, join me again tomorrow, Heavenly Father willing, my video. I won't be doing videos on Friday or Saturday and Sunday and Wednesday. My new schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Once again, brethren, thank you. Peace, love, and light. And until I see you again on video, shalom.